Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome everybody. Let's have a look. Okay, oh, 7 people in straight away. Okay, waiting and knocking on the door. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's have a look. Okay, I take it everything is working okay. I'll just do hello everyone. Those people that are in, is everything working? The sound everything okay? The picture's okay. We've got lovely blue skies behind us. It's a lovely day, weather-wise anyway. So can anybody see me and hear me okay? Just give us a thumbs up. I can hear. Fantastic. As long as everybody can hear, if one person can hear, that means everybody else is going to hear. Marvellous. Lovely jubbly. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to Retired and Living the Dream, Les. This is your chance to ask any questions that you may have. Sounds good, everything, blah, blah, I can hear. Fantastic. Okay. That's it. Tongue-tied. So, again, I've done this live stream. It was sort of a bit of rush at the end of it because basically there's plenty of people that have looked at this subject with my splitting up, getting a divorce, whatever you want to call it, breakup of marriage, stuff like that. There's a lot of interest, obviously over 40,000 views. So that says there's some bit of interest. So again, I try to answer everybody's emails and questions. So basically this is your chance to ask any questions with regard to what the process is over here, getting a divorce or split up, and what questions you may have to safeguard your property, your money, your assets, stuff like that. I'm no expert, but again, I've looked into this long before this happened anyway. And if the eventuality happens, then what you can do. And sadly, that eventuality has happened. And if I can help anybody else along the way, that's fantastic. Hi, let's stay strong and carry on. Is there much news about the new latest Middle East war? Plenty of flights cancelled. I don't know. I've seen that there was a number of flights cancelled. But I don't know. I haven't watched the news today. I've been busy washing the car, making the video, and like that video that I put on this morning, washing the car, another 3,500 views on that. 65 and divorced. You know what to do. It's obviously an interesting subject for many people. Your views are going through the roof. Yeah, the views have gone through. How sad that it is that all the information, the positive information that I give, we get 1,500 or 2,000 people watching it on about visas, everyday living here. But again, bad news, 20,000 on each video. And then the last one today, 3,600. If I got a quarter of them numbers for all the other positive information that I've given, I would be a happy man. But again, never mind. This is obvious, the questions that people want to know, and I'm here to answer them questions. So please don't feel shy to ask or embarrassed, or if you think it's going to upset me. I've had me cry, I've had me moans, I've had me groans. This is day 5 now in recovery. And again, it's much appreciated, all those people who've given me messages of good hope and will and wishes and for the future. And I would say 95% of the comments put on here would agree with my decision as to what we did. So that in itself is worth everything, and I appreciate and thank every single one that's commented. I didn't get to answer every single one of it. I mean, there was over 1,000 comments. So if you look at 1,000, at least 1 minute to answer everybody's and a minute to be able to read it, that's a lot of time. And I have spent hours answering them. But sadly, sometimes it doesn't, I can't answer everybody, but I appreciate everybody's concerns. I've just spent 2,502 weeks in Phuket on holiday with the wife. Think I need to find a cheaper holiday. Yeah, Phuket is very expensive. Les, I don't think you're suited for marriage. I've had my fingers burnt 4 times. Now stop touching the fire. I'm going to come on to that, but I would agree. I would agree with that. Again, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm honest, and I always tell the truth. You know, whether it's good or bad or whatever. Yeah, I've had my fingers burnt 4 times. Is there going to be a fifth time? Never say never. I can't say that, and I'll come on to the reasons why I say never a little bit later on, because it's important to me. Again, I'm a nice guy. I don't take anybody for granted. I wouldn't wish anybody to suffer. But again, I'll come on to that, because it's all to do with money when all's said and done, isn't it? And when I die, my fire brigade pension, if I'm not married, then my fire brigade pension dies with me. Can I live with that? I can at the minute. Yeah, at the minute, I feel a little bit raw, and I'm thinking, well, nobody's going to get that. But if, say, for instance, if I found a partner for another 10 or 15 years, is it fair that when there's a chunk of money there for the rest of her life, she spent maybe 10 or 15 years with me, might only be 5 years, depends how long I live, that she gets nothing? So that's the balance that you've sort of got to draw over here. But yeah, I agree with you. I've had my fingers burnt 4 times. I'm a nice guy. I've been a really good provider on all the wives. And again, which we'll come into that a little bit later on, for me, it just seems never to be enough. Ploy has walked away from this house. She's walked away from a good standard of living. When I pass, she would get this house. She would get the insurance money. She'd get my pension for life. And she walked away from that for her son. I admire her for doing that. It takes some courage to be able to do that as well. But on the other hand, I did try to ask her just to see what she wanted. I had a couple of solutions in my mind, but I'm a strong believer that if I'm not worth fighting for, then why fight? You know, and I wanted to hear what she wanted, and the easiest solution was to cut and run, and away she go. But again, I'm going to come on to the reasons why I think it would have happened eventually anyway. So if anything, it's for a warning for other people to look, because Thailand is a unique destination to come, and it's got its unique problems and unique things that can happen to you. And I would say the same as to any Asian country, because family is number one in the Asian countries, something the Westerners have lost, but it can come and bite you in the bum. So hello, those people who've said hello. The screen's going mad today. If you want to ask a question, put a Q there. Do you think you suffer knight in shining armor syndrome? Yes, I do. My armor is tainted now. I am a knight in shining armor, and I've got to say, when I met Ploy, I released her from a certain amount of poverty, give her a good life for 9.5 years. 9.5 years, she never had to want or need for anything. And as I said, if things that I've learned, it's funny how you learn a lot of things when you split up. Then other people start talking and saying, "Oh, you know, I'm a jealous, I'm an angry Ploy." No, I'm not. She did what she did for her reasons and for her reasons alone. And I think I would have done the same if it was my daughter. I would have stuck by my daughter at least for the first 1 or 2 times. But in my younger days, I was dealing with drug addicts or drug dealers. And a drug dealer once, I said in the video, that he wanted to blow my kneecaps off because I was getting rid of 2 delivery boys that he had, and they were easily manipulated. So drugs is an awful, evil game, and I had to resort to violence to get rid of them from the property I was renting out. I'm not a man of violence, but I had to employ somebody to explain the errors of the way. So that for me is that red line. Anybody that deals with that become liars. Stupid, can't think for because the fix that they need to get, they'd sell their own grandmother if they had to get the next fix. They're turning into not a very nice person. Now, Ploy's son was already not that very nice person to start with, without going all of this lot as well. Anyway, sorry, the questions are just the questions are just flying by here. I've just seen the queue here. Les, have you got any children of your own? Yes, I have, and I'll come on to that in a minute. Question, you from the Borough Hartlepool, looks lovely there. I'm from Redcar, just over the water. Question, Les, have you taught English? Yes, I have taught English, and the kids speak with like a Geordie accent-ish. Even though I'm not Geordie, I'm still 60 miles out from Geordie, but there is definitely a twang to the kids that I taught English to. But again, this is going back many, many years ago. Okay, trying to answer some of the questions. I do have two kids. My two daughters don't speak to me. I'm the worst thing since sliced bread, according to them. We've never spoke for the at least past 10 years or so, because sadly, like I'm a member of a group of parental rights for dads and things like that. There was none of that when I got divorced. So my ex-wife poisoned the kids' mind towards me. And I remember the days, if it was yesterday, my eldest daughter, I've been going out with this girl for 6 months, and I've never introduced my girls to any of the girlfriends they had. We went together. We had a fantastic day on the river and the boats. Beautiful. And my girlfriend said, I won't stand next to you, Les, so they won't think we're boyfriend and girlfriend. But Emily twigged and said, is that your new girlfriend, Dad? I said, oh, yeah, it is. Oh, she's great. She's brilliant, isn't she? She's really good fun to be with. She went skipping into the house. Mum, guess what? We've met Dad's new girlfriend. Oh, she's fantastic. That was the minute, that was the day that my life changed. Never seen my kids for 9 months, because she took me to court for saying, tried to blame me for all sorts of things, messing with the kid's head, by going through the divorce and things. Oh, it was a horrible, horrible time, all of which she had to retract at the end of the day. But the damage was done. The kids, I never, ever slagged the mother off because I didn't want to play that game. So I've talked to people who deal with this type of thing. And because I never said anything bad against the mother, they naturally think, well, the mum was good because Dad never said anything bad about her. But like, it goes on. So no, my two kids, I've not seen them for a lot of years. And my eldest daughter, Emily, at 15, I caught her with a spliff in a cigarette box. And I had a friend who was a police inspector in Cleveland. And I took her to go and see him. And I asked him to go and frighten the living daylights out of her. And he took her into a cell. He said, at 15, Les, she's got to have an adult, parent, member of the family there. And I said, no, I want you to take her in there with a, and he took a lady constable in with him as well, and laid the law down and really, really frightened her. That's what I did, because my daughter was going down that lane as well. She was knocking around with people who used to do shoplifting and stuff like that, because they were having more fun. So I've been there, I've seen it, I've done it, I know what it is. But my daughter, up until that time, were two beautiful kids. And it's only afterwards that they've turned into not so good kids. But they were never bad kids anyway. But Ploy's son has been bad from the day one, from the first day I met him, and he's never changed. QQ, Ploy would never forgive herself if she didn't try again. Yeah, I agree, 100%. A mother's love is never ending. But I said to her a number of years ago, I won't say his name. I said a number of years ago, her son was going to be in bother as he gets older, because he just had that streak of badness in him, and it just would never go away. And he showed it on many, many, many occasions. And yeah, it came to fruition. He came down here because he asked for his mum's help. He not hated his mum, but he didn't love his mum at all. Even his mum called him a bad son a few years ago. Sadly, Les, experience is far too common for every woman to dismiss or gaslight. Women willingly despair their father for their own benefit, validation. Yeah. You're from the same town as Roy Chubby Brown. I was, yeah. In fact, I've met Roy Chubby Brown a couple of times personally. And he's quite a nice guy. He's not like what he is on the telly. She'll be back. No way. No, that door is closed and bolted. I mean, this is my fourth marriage, and I've had 3 serious girlfriends living here and 13 years in Thailand, and I've learned by mistakes. This is another lesson learned that I will never ever forget, because it hurts, and it hurts because of different reasons from before. And the first girlfriend I got here, she turned into a violent girlfriend. Again, I've done a video, have a look at that, living with a violent girlfriend. She attacked me with a meat cleaver on 3 separate occasions. And on the third, I put my arm up like that to defend myself, and the blade stuck onto the counter of the coffee shop that we had. And her eyes just opened up and just realized then if the knife hadn't have hit the wooden frame around the opening, then it would have sliced my arm off because it was that sharp. Then she just went. Second girlfriend I had, again, for about a year. She used to be a language school teacher. Then she went to learn how to be a chef. And then she got offered a placement in Nevada, America. And she asked me to go with her. And I said, no, I said, I don't want to go to America. I said, I want to live in Thailand. And I was dropping her off at work 7 o'clock in the morning, picking her up at 7 o'clock at night. So I was on my own all of the day while she was learning to cook. And I'm thinking, this is never going to change. It's not what I've retired for. So going back to the first one, I forgive her twice. The third time she left. So sadly, we apply a lesson learned from before. Means if she'd have fought for me and said, well, what about this? What about that? How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? How can we get around this situation? But no, she couldn't run. That was the easiest solution for her. And again, I'll come on to this a little bit later on, why I think this happened early, but I think it would have happened a little bit later on as well. And there's very good reasons for that. And again, it's a warning to all the other guys that have the Thai wives. This may happen to you one day, so have a look and see, and have a plan B. Go gay, stay safe. No, I don't know about that. I've seen quite a few nice lady boys in my previous years in Pattaya, but I don't think I could go gay. No, I don't. Never say never about the possibility of letting her back in. No, I'm definitely 100% never say never. No, that was wrong. I'm definitely 100% never, and she won't be back. Absolutely 100% will not be back. Because the damage has been done. Again, it's many people say here, was she perfect? No, she wasn't perfect, but she was good while we were together. Was I perfect? No, nobody's ever perfect, but there were some things missing out of the relationship, which I sort of turned a blind eye, and I'm thinking, okay. But she was 90% perfect, but she wasn't 100% perfect. But even that other 5% was lacking in various bits and pieces. Just love and affection. It was just like they take us for granted. That's what I'm trying to say. They just take us for granted. We pay for everything. We do everything. But like, for instance, the birthday present. She gave me a birthday present at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. My birthday starts from the minute you get up. So from the minute I got up until 2 o'clock, I'm thinking, she hasn't bought me anything for my birthday. All the stuff that I do for her, and she hasn't bought. And then she says, oh, by the way, there's you. Even though she wished me happy birthday in the morning, she gave me the birthday present at 2 o'clock. So we had a bit of an argument over that. Said it started from when we got up. It doesn't start at 2 o'clock. So just things like that. Whereas I apply that everything, surprise, I made it funny. I made it adventurous. But there was none of that. Even said to her, said, listen, just take me out for a cup of coffee or buy me lunch every now and then. Just to say, oh, today I'm going to treat you, Les. I'm going to take you out for a lunch or coffee. Never happened. Well, I count them on one hand. Just silly little things like that. Marriage fees are going to get cancelled soon. Yes, it is. But again, we've talked about that. Question, what's happening with the house? I'll come on to that in a minute. But yeah, the marriage visa is going to be cancelled, and I'm transferring over to a retirement visa. But I was going to do that anyway. Because the marriage visa is just stupid to try and do every year. 7 years we've been doing it, and we had hassle every year. So I was always going to change it over to a retirement visa, but now it's going to be changed a little bit sooner than what I thought. But never mind, these things trip you up, and away you go. Spot on, Les. A lot of white knights here in the chat, likely moving to Thailand because they're different and have understanding of women and their role in the lead to lead them. And if they don't, buy. Yeah, as somebody said, it was very cutting and hurtful, but 100% correct. Because Ploy was out the okay, here's another thorny, touchy subject. Is it a salary? Is it housekeeping? Is it, what is it? There's many things you can, I give my wife, I call it a salary. Other people said, you give me a salary, you're renting your wife and stuff like that. If your wife doesn't work, she has various needs that she wants. So she's going to get the money off you, isn't she? So I give her an allowance, which I call the salary, every month. So she didn't have to ask me for anything like that. So I'll use it as the words that I've always said. I give her a salary every month. But out of that salary, she was going to be paying 9,500 baht towards her son to go to this rehab unit and pay for his motorbike, which I didn't like the fact that she signed for 4 years for his motorbike. Anyway, but that's by the by. So 9,500 baht a month. And there was no guarantee it was going to be 4 or 5 months. It might be longer than that. If he gets himself into trouble and he ends up in jail, the food in the jail isn't the best food in the world. So their parents, e.g. Ploy, would be sending him money so he could eat better food. And also because there's protection money, so he doesn't get, seen to, if you like, in jail, protection money. Ploy would end up having to pay that as well. So this is the feeling that I had, is what's going down to happen. And again, I wasn't going to be the one who supplied that. Is why I said to Ploy, I said, if you want to support your son, I'll take my hat off you for looking after your son. You go and get a job. You feel the pain of doing it. Because I said, you don't feel the pain because it's coming out of the money that I give you every month. I said, you're still laid on your hammock, counting money that you haven't got. I said, so you don't feel any pain from that. So I said, that's why I say, you go and get a job. You take the pain from it, and then I can live with that. So I was going to deduct 9,500 baht a month from the money that I give her. That's where the proverbial brown stuff hit the fan, and she decided it wasn't worth arguing or fighting over. Time to go. Yeah, salary is unfortunate. Yeah, but that's how the Thai people count it. That's how the Thai people look at it. Housekeeping, salary, whatever. It is what it is, and it's the same world over. When my wife wasn't working at home because she was looking after the kids, who did she have to ask? She had to ask me for her money, for her clothes, for her shoes, for everyday essentials. So it's the same thing, isn't it? Because she wasn't working. Same with my Chinese girlfriend or my wife. We went around the world. She wasn't working. She still needed daily things or weekly things or whatever. So it was me that gave her the money. Same thing. So yes, maybe it's an unfortunate choice of words to some people, but not to others. I wouldn't say Sally makes it sound implied housekeeping is 90. Yeah, but yeah, housekeeping. But other people, yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, 100% she'll be back for the house, etc. Just as soon as her family and friends have bent her ear. I'm going to come on to the house in a minute. Do you have a cleaner? No, I don't have a cleaner. I do it myself. Be happy, Les, every day. I think being on your own is good. I live with my 2 beautiful dogs, lovely walks on the beach. Enjoy your days. A dog is forever loving. That is the fact. And have I thought about getting a dog? Yes, I have. But I like my travels as well. And finding dog-friendly hotels and stuff like that, it's difficult to do. So let's get on to some nitty-gritty. 9,000 baht. Okay, I'll answer this one last question. 9,000 baht is nothing. You have thrown everything away for nothing. Okay, that's what you think. For I agree what you're saying, because that went through my own mind as well. But what if he did carry on having to go to rehab for another 2 or 3 months? He's a lazy, idle, good for nothing. If he was a likable person, then I would have helped him. But he's been a little shit from day one that I first met him, and he's never ever changed. He's a lazy, idle, good for nothing. Please understand, he's never going to change. So if he comes out of rehab, he's going to go for the easy money. He's probably seen and dealt with the stuff in the first place. So that's easy money because he avoids hard work at every opportunity. So he's going to slip back into that lifestyle, I think. And he's going to end up in jail. And like I said earlier on, he's going to end up in jail where Ploy will have to give him some more money to keep him fed because the Thai prisons over here, they only give you a very, very basic gruel and soup. So she would have to send him money for more food. And she would also have to send him protection money so he doesn't get a different way of life in jail. He'll be forced to join a gang and things like that. So this nightmare, I'd sooner it be over now than going on for months and months and months. And again, I'll come on to later what might be happening later on as well. So I count myself lucky now because I've had a clear mind and 5 days of thinking about what ifs, because I believe in what ifs and planning for plan B. But I missed this one. But now this is what I'm on here for, to tell people to have a thought about it. So no, I haven't give everything away for 9,000 baht. You may think that, but okay. And it wasn't 9,000, it was 40-odd thousand baht because it was a minimum 4 or 5 months. Would you pay somebody that you hated and you didn't particularly like 9,000 baht a month because he's made a mistake? Yeah, let's hop off to the Philippines and find a Catholic girl. Yeah. I've got a friend who's in the Philippines at the minute and he's offered me to come over there and he'll show me the ropes like I showed him the ropes around here. Let's look after yourself. I think you've been lucky getting out of it. Life's too short. 100%. I agree with. And again, I'll try and fit all of this. This is why I started an hour early. Again, we've got 200 people in the house now listening to this. So there's many things to say. And I may not be able to answer all of the questions because of time. But again, let's get back onto the house then. Let's get back on, because this is the biggest thing that people are worried about, is that I'm going to lose the house. I'm not going to lose the house. Just please, people with the question, just hold off for like 10 minutes while I explain about the house situation. Question, stay on your own and just have a good time. I'm going to do that. So anyway, getting back to the house. We bought the house on a rent-to-buy scheme with our landlady. So it's a private contract between me, Ploy, and the landlady. And the contract stated if we walked away from the house, we wouldn't get anything back from what we paid. And I understand that. It was like a sweetener to be able to get her to say yes. And she gave us a loan, basically a rent-to-buy loan. She hasn't lost out. She's never going to lose out anything, no matter which way it goes, whether me and Ploy stay together or me and Ploy split up. She was never, ever going to lose out. And that was one of the ways that we convinced her to give us this rent-to-buy loan. There's nothing cast in stone as to who the person's going to be, but it has to be a Thai person who the house goes into. So I've got a number of years yet before I can make the last payment, and the house doesn't become ours until the last payment is made. So as long as I carry on paying the monthly payments, I'm still on that contract as a buy to let. Now I've got a friend who's married to a Thai girl, and I could use her as a guarantor, and then I could get a 30-year lease from that and transfer it over to her, because then it's in a Thai person's name. All done by a lawyer, and it's all wrapped up, and I could still sell this house once I've taken over, once I paid the last payment and it goes into my friend's wife's name, and she can't do anything to the house. She can't sell the lease, she can't sell the house, can't do anything. And then within that 30 years, I can sell the house or do whatever I want to do with it. But one of the thoughts that I had is it's worth about 3.5 million baht, this house. So if I'm not going to be with anybody else, I'm going to spend that money and I'll sell the house and I'll just use that money because when I die, I've got nobody to leave it to at the minute. And I've got no intentions of leaving it to anybody. Certainly my kids ain't going to get any of it. Ploy's gone. The bolt's, you know, with her. My sister is financially okay. So therefore, I'm thinking I'll sell the house and I'll spend it on me. I went around the world for 2 years and thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've always thought I'd like to do it again. So 3.5 million baht, which is about £70,000. I can do a lot of traveling with that. At the end of this year, October, my state pension comes in. So I'll have £2,500 a month. I've probably never been as well off as what I will be at the end of this year. So that just opens up a few more doors. And sadly, because Ploy's left, she's left at a time where she would have benefited more from that as well. But again, that door's closed now. So I have many options. I could sell the house now if I wanted, as long as I paid the main property off. Then I could sell it to whoever I wanted, and I could make the money that I've already paid for. So there's many options. Ploy hasn't got a hold on the house 100%. Ploy, the day before she left, we went round the car registration place. This is all due to Ploy. It was her that looked into this, and we transferred the car and the motorbikes into my name because we bought the car on finance, so it had to be in her name, and it never ever got changed to mine because I trusted her and I wasn't bothered about it. Same with the motorbike. We bought the motorbike on finance, so both of the motorbikes, 2 motorbikes and the car was signed over to my name, so everything's in my name, legal, above board and genuine. She did this the day before she left, and she said, I'll make sure all the paperwork's right and sorted before I leave. And we got the paperwork finished 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 5 o'clock, she told me the taxi was coming the following morning. So again, a lot of people are knocking Ploy, but I don't knock her. She did what she did for whatever the reasons. And I think every other Thai mother would do exactly the same. So I'm not going to knock her for that. Give it to me. You can have a 30-year lease in your name. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I know I can have. So the house is protected. I ain't going to lose the house. She can't come back at me for a later date. She's got her own house anyway. She's got her own farm. She's actually more wealthy than I am. So she's not a poor Thai girl like some of the Thai girls who have absolutely nothing. Ploy is doing okay. She's got no loans on the house or the land. They're almost self-sufficient. They have the chickens, the fish, vegetables and stuff like that. So she needs very, very little money to live on. And I know she's got some savings while she's been with me. So she's not a poor girl. She's not going to be desperate for money. And so she's okay as far as and I'm okay because I've still got my money. I've still got my possessions. I've still got a good lifestyle here. I'd sooner break up and split up here than do it in the UK. I mean, look where I live. There's a hammock just there, and there's a sofa just there. I sit on that sofa in the morning, watch the sunrise. It's stunningly beautiful here. So I'm not doing too badly, am I? At 65, starting again here in Thailand. Okay. Les, the Philippines will solve your pension dilemma that you mentioned. Yeah, again, yeah, the Philippines. Yeah. Again, I'm going to look. The doors, it's opened many other doors. I can go and have a look and things like that. £2,500 a month. You can live like a king, get a beautiful 2-bed, sea view condo, swimming pool, $500 all in, including bills. It leaves. Yeah. Again, there you go. So I'm not hard done by, really, am I? Looks like you're trying to justify. No, I'm not trying to justify things. I'm trying to explain to people who might be in a similar situation or looking at a similar situation that, you know, life isn't that bad. You just have to look at it differently. I think outside of the box all the time anyway. And I've had me 4 or 5 days of weepiness and why is me and woe is me, what have I done wrong? How could I ever fix it? Blah, blah, blah. And I've come to the conclusion, I'm 65-year-old. I've probably got another at least 5 or 8 years in front of me that I'm physically active and mobile and being able to do the things that I want to do. My feel-good music over the past couple of days is trance music. That's 18 to 20 or 30-year-olds, trance music. But I love the trance music. I'm going to Bangkok, one of the biggest street parties in the world, for Songkran, because I love the trance music. I love the the loud dancing, beating music. So I'm going to Songkran in Bangkok. I'm 65-year-old, but I'm not an old 65-year-old. Ploy did the right thing as personal finance. Yeah, again, I'm not going to argue about it. She did what she did for other reason. I'll come on to that in a minute, why I think it would have happened eventually anyway. I had a mesh broke up with it. Oh, again, it's going too fast now. Didn't have me down as a raver. Yeah, I like rave music. I like the trance music. It's brilliant. Can you stick a bit of trance? I can't, because then I'll get a strike for copyright music. Okay, Les, it's a rare sunny day here in the UK, and I'm off to the allotment. See you at the big one. Okay, I'm coming back to the UK in May anyway, for a month, or maybe 2 months now. Depends what it is. Depends if I like staying there, or if it's too bloody expensive to stay there. Marriage vows, better off or worse? Yeah, but the time marriage don't say for better off or worse. I like house music. There you go. See, we're still aging. We still like the music. Why do you think about Vietnam being more popular than Thailand now? Because it's cheaper, and they've just made the visa a lot easier. 45-day visa you can get now to go to Vietnam. So anyway, going back on to why do I think it would happen later? Because I've had time to think now, and because of what's happened and family values and family, I like the family values in Thailand because they are family. Family take care of family, and I've always liked that. But unfortunately, that's come back to bite me in the bum. But as far as Thai family is concerned, it is the way. We've lost that in the Western world. We don't value family and friends or family situations like they do over here. So Ploy loves her mum and dad. I'll come back to that question in a minute. I'm on a marriage visa, but I'm transferring it over to a retirement visa soon. Ploy loves her mum and dad greatly. Her dad is her hero. Her mother, she cries every time we leave, and she misses her mother for 2 or 3 days. So now Ploy is happy because she's back with her parents, living with them full time, even though she is going to have a hard life, getting up at 5 o'clock every morning and helping. She is where she wants to be because she loves her family. And her family, her mum and dad, are aging. They're a couple of years older than me, and they're not in really good health. Imagine working in the fields every day, all day, 7 days a week. They're going to get ill. They're going to suffer. They're going to need somebody to take care of them. In Thai culture, the girl does that. And Ploy is the only girl in the family. So it would be expected for Ploy to look after mum and dad when the time comes they needed to be looked after. So sadly, I think this would have occurred in later time, because I wasn't prepared to go and live at the farm, because I've lived there and it's very remote, and I could have lived there from day one and paid no rent and lived a very, very cheap life, but it wouldn't have been the life that I would want to choose. And again, if Ploy is expected to look after a mum and dad because that's the way it is, that's Thailand, that's just the way it goes, I would be expected to move up there. So if anything, she jumped early because her dad's already got gout and he's suffering with gout. So the writing was on the wall in the first place. So I think that was a decision that she made as well, that one day she's going to be having to look after her mum and dad anyway. So she jumped ship and she's done what she's done. She saved up over the number of years. She is not a stupid girl. She never has been stupid, and she's very good with money. So she's put some of the money away over the past 9.5 years. So she's quite financially well off, and I can't blame her for that. She's never wasted a single penny of it. So that's why I think Ploy would have left eventually, and I would have been talking about this in maybe 1, 2, 3 years' time. And that would have been a more tricky situation, because maybe we would have had the house paid for. And that would have come into, because even though Ploy had her own house and a farm, when we got married, that doesn't come into play like it does in the UK, because then it becomes a marital asset. Getting married in Thailand, whatever she had before the marriage stays with her, not like it does in the UK where it becomes a marital asset. So anyway, the house that we would have bought would have become 50-50. Even that would becoming 50-50, I still wouldn't have done too badly out of it. It depends the way you look upon it, and I'll come on to that in a little minute. That if the house would have been paid for and I had to pay 50-50 to her, I still wouldn't have complained, because let's say the house, for ease of figures, the house is worth 3 million. So if we sold the house for 3 million, she'd get 1.5 million, I'd get 1.5 million. So some people say, yeah, you've lost half, 1.5 million you've lost. But if I just rented the house and I didn't buy it in the rent to buy, I would have lost the 12,000 baht a month every month, and I would never ever have got it back. So you just need to look at different scenarios and different situations, and don't look at everything as black and white. You make the best of what you've got, and this is what I'm doing. I've got the car, I've got the motorbikes, I've got the house, and it's just different ways of looking upon it. It's not difficult to change over from a marriage visa to a retirement visa. It can be done. But for those guys whose wives have got dependent parents, be careful, because this may happen to you as well. I hope it doesn't, but it's something to be aware of. I never ever thought about it. I knew the parents were going to get old, and sometimes I wondered, I'm thinking, who's going to look after them then when they get old and sick? And it's only like now that it hit home, and it was always going to be Ploy. It's never ever going to be the brothers, because it's a girl's way to do it, if you know what I mean. So right, okay, that was that explanation with the house, and I hope everybody's happy with the explanation of it, and the car and the motorbikes. Everything's in my name. I'm not worried about it, and let's go from there. Thank you very much. A donation. I commented the other day on the advice, and they appreciate you replied. I had things could work out should be let the Thai stepdaughter walk over me. It may be Rayong December. If I'm will there, it will be coffee. Okay, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for the donation. I'll spend that wisely. I'll have a nice few coffees. I take care of people. I always have taken care of people, and I treat people with respect. I treat everybody with respect. But when you don't get the respect in the first place, why carry on flogging a dead horse? And I'm sorry, with Ploy's son, he lost my affection many years ago, because he never ever changed. I did try to help him out a number of occasions, but again, you might have, I don't know whether I did the story. Her son came down here for a job. I dealt with people on the Prince's Trust for a year. They were totally unmotivated, no prospects, nothing at all. And he was just exactly like them. He just didn't give a toss. And Ploy had the interview for him. She got the interview. He sat in the car. She got the job for him, and he wasn't interested in doing it. He only lasted 2 weeks, and he went back to the farm anyway. So he's just lazy. He doesn't want to do anything at all. Like I said in one of the videos, Ploy's dad suffering with gout. He was cutting the sugar cane down while Ploy's son, who's 18, was sat on the tractor waiting for him to cut the sugar cane down, and he helped to load it onto the tractor. Lazy, good for nothing. He should have been there cutting, and his granddad should have been on the tractor. That's the type of son he was. Ploy's son's mates will raid your house as soon as you leave. Oh, why do people seem to think that this is going to happen? I live 7 hours away. I don't live around the corner from where they are. I've done nothing to him. I've never even said a word to him. I've said some angry words to Ploy, but that's it. I've never ever said anything to her son. That's not going to happen. I sleep safe at night. That's not going to. Why would they come down and take it out on me? Because in her son's way, he's won. He's got his mother back. His mother's back and paying for his treatment, so he hasn't lost anything. So what's the revenge? What's he got to be revengeful for? Because he allowed play to go back with him. He hated me because I took play away from him. You know, we used to go there for 2 or 3 weeks, and he hated me because he looked upon me that I've taken his mum away from him. He's got his mum back now. He's won. She's paying for his motorbike. She's paying for his treatment. He's won. So I should be going there, battering him with a baseball bat. But of course I won't. Okay. All of us that have Thai wives have to accept the fact that we are the first, and we are not the first in the pecking order. When you understand this, things go a little smoother. Les, you have to look fondly on them. Yeah, I do look fondly on them. We had 9.5 good years. And again, you know, it was hard moving the photographs, changing everything around. So, you know, that memory goes. Good luck, Les. Guess you have moved on. Yes, it's been 5 days. It's going to take a lot more than 5 days, I agree, but we're getting there in the end. He works his own business, but still, who works his own? He hasn't got. He does nothing. He went to work for a business. He lasted 2 weeks, and I don't know whether he got sacked or whether he walked away, because even that was probably hard for him, getting up and having to work for 2 weeks. God forbid, you know. How do you stand with the house? You own the property, but the land will be hers. Again, I've explained that a little bit earlier. Maybe you've just joined and you haven't. But in a nutshell, basically what it is, we don't own the land or the house because we bought the house on a rent to buy. And until I pay the last payment, it doesn't become ours until I pay the last payment. And I've got things sorted out or put into place to either sell the house or put it into my friend's wife's name and get a 30-year lease on it, so that there's things that I can protect myself with it. Because at the end of the day, I still have to live here. I have to live somewhere, and I love where I'm living. Hi, Les. Looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday. I've got my suitcase packed now. I'm on my way down there tomorrow. I'll be at Cheap Charlie's on Soy Bacau for my breakfast at 11 o'clock. And I can book into the hotel at 2 o'clock on the afternoon. So that's where I'm going for my breakfast tomorrow. About 11-ish, I'll be in Cheap Charlie's on Soy Bacau. Wonderful English breakfast. One of the best good value breakfasts in Pattaya. And I had an English breakfast today at another friend's and another restaurant, and it wasn't a patch on Cheap Charlie's breakfast, and twice the price. Wow, 4 wives, you like wedding cake? I do like wedding cake, yes, I do. But will there be a 5th? I'll never say never. I might go for the Guinness Book of Records. I don't know what the Guinness Book of Records is for the amount of wives. But again, I'll do a lot more research before another long-term girlfriend comes into the fold. I might give it a miss. I might just stay and play and stuff like that, because again, I've been a nice guy, Steady Eddie. Nothing to do with Steady Eddie, the traveller, but Steady Eddie means a strong, reliable, hard-working provider, and that's sort of never been enough. And again, I don't know what is enough. I love Thailand, but it's all about, all of it. Money is number one. Money is joint number one with family number one. But money is a lot of things to do with it. Men are like islands, women are like boats. Make the life you want to live on your island. And whatever boat shows up, enjoy while you... Yep, again, I'm going to open a few doors next week. You stay near Pattaya? I stay in Rayong, which is about an hour and 20 minutes away from Pattaya. So again, it's been 5 days now since she's left. So I'm going to go, a couple of friends of mine, it's her birthday. She wanted to go to Pattaya to the Sailor Bar because she wants to go and have a few of their cocktails. So we're going to Pattaya for 2 days. We were going as a group of people, including Ploy, but now she's not here. It's just the 3 of us. So I'm looking forward to that. I can window shop now a little bit as well. Liz, you should take things off your mind by going on a cruise or traveling to China, since it is visa-free for the UK citizens. I've been to China. I love China. But going on a cruise, again, these are the type of things that's going through my mind now. It just opens up a lot more possibilities. Ploy didn't like flying, so that limited us to Thailand and stuff like that. And got the Maldives for a couple of days. Beautiful, the Maldives. China, I've been to China. I've been to Beijing, Shanghai, and the Terracotta Warriors. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Japan. I've been to many, many places. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of doors opening for me now. And especially when I get me state pension at the end of the year, I've got a lot more disposable income to do with the things that I want to do. And I'm looking forward to it. So that's what I'm saying. It's not all downhill because you split up. It just, my bucket list is, I've still got my bucket with my list in it. And now I can start checking them boxes again now. Oh, yeah, where's gonna best? How much is your spending for the month? Plan to buy an apartment in Pattaya. My girlfriend is 10 million baht, enough to spend for 30 years. In Thailand, this is not included the apartment. Again, how long is a piece of string, really? In Pattaya, I've got to say, in Pattaya, there's going to be a glut of apartments and condos at the minute, because with the new visa rules, if you buy a condo to rent out as an investment, you'll find that things are against you. Because if you rent out to a foreigner and you don't live there on a retirement visa or marriage visa or some sort of visa, just say you're English and you bought one for investment, but you live in England, you can't rent it out to a foreigner because you don't have a work permit and you don't have a retirement visa or a marriage visa or any type of visa where you're in Thailand full time. So the immigration are telling people you can't live there. We can't accept that address as a long-term address because the person you're renting it from is illegally renting it out because they don't have a work permit or they don't live here full time. So there's a lot of apartments and condos are going to be on the market in the next year or 2 years because they can't rent them out to foreigners, and Thai people won't pay the foreigner prices for rental. So that's just come in earlier on, well, in the last couple of months or so. So be wary about buying a condo in Pattaya because you might buy it, but you'll suffer and you'll struggle to sell it. That's just a little bit of information, but I don't know. It depends how much you spend. Now I've worked out that I can spend on my own, living here with everything, about 25,000 baht a month, and that's eating out every single day and paying for all the stuff, a little bit of entertainment. So I think 25,000 for my bill, and I pay 20,000 baht. So 45,000. I can live on 45,000 and have a good time every day and a good lifestyle, I think. But again, I'll do another video about that because I'm a single guy and I'll log down how much it's going to cost. But at the minute, I'm doing a video, can you live on 7-Eleven food? Because 7-Eleven food is lovely. Ranges from 39 baht up to 69 baht for the chicken tikka masala, which was beautiful the other day. So you can live as cheap as chips. I was down the beach yesterday having a meal and some beers. And again, it was like 400 baht watching the sun go down, stunningly beautiful. And it's a TikTok bar, so there's plenty of eye candy to look at as well, which is nice as well. It will be holiday season, red car when you go. Yeah, I'm going to go and get a lemon. I'm going to pay a couple of quid for a lemon top. But I'll still be in Wetherspoons having their coffee and their breakfast because Wetherspoons is the good value place, without a doubt. Yeah, 7-Eleven food's amazing food in Asia. Yeah, the burgers, the toasties. Again, when I did my video, you know, when I was like, I left because I didn't want to be in tears watching the boxes getting loaded onto the taxi. So I went out and I had a coffee, and it was a cappuccino coffee with 2 toasties, 82 baht, watching the world coming alive at 7:30 in the morning. And I liked it so much, watching the world come alive. It was lovely, and I'm going to do it again. Let's don't want to be negative, but have you got plans for the long term, e.g. 10 or 15 years time? You're not a young man. Exactly, that's why I'm going to do the things now, because I might not live 10 or 15 years time. So I'm going to travel, do what I can whilst I can, for as long as I can, as young as I can. I'm 66 coming up in July. So yes, no, I haven't got any long-term plans, because the long-term prognosis is I'm going to die, and I don't know when I'm going to die. Nobody knows when they're going to die. But if I owe the bank £1 when I die, then I've lived a good life, and that's what I intend to do. Spend it all, because I've got nobody to leave it to, and not that I want to leave it to anybody. So I'm going to spend it, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I don't care if I waste it. But I'll spend it on the things that I want to do. Tommy Robinson was in prison for expressing his truths against grooming gangs, Les, and a decade later he was proven right. Of course he was proven right. Hi Les, rent out my one-bedroom condo, 15 patio via reputable agent with contract and live in the UK. Not sure what you're saying is correct. That's coming from the immigration office. So unless an agent as a way of getting around the law, this is what came across, because there was a forum, a meeting of people worried about renting the condos out, because there was a video on it. I can't put my finger on the name of the video, but it was a Korean guy renting a condo from the base in Pattaya, and he was trying to get a 1-year retirement visa, and they used the base as his location for rent. And it was them, the immigration said, you can't rent that place because he hasn't got a work permit and he doesn't have a retirement visa, so you cannot rent it off him because he hasn't got a work permit. This is what the video that I've seen. As you can imagine, I see and hear lots of different information, and this was like a couple or so months ago. So I'd look into it. Maybe he's renting it through an agent. They can. It's like everything else. Agents are good at waving the magic wand and things happen. So good luck for that one. Hi, good to see you on a line live chat. We'll be in Thailand 1 month in April. Yeah, good luck for that. Enjoy. April is a nice time to come. I'm 66 in June, so you're a little bit older than me, a month older than me. So glad you're upbeat, Les. Moving forward and upwards, all we should do. Thank you very much. When you come to Bangkok, try these places for good eating. It near Solom Road that I'm at, which is the biggest street party in Bangkok. Hi, Les. Sorry to hear about your troubles. It sounds like Comply were a good team together until her troublesome son recently came on the scene. Does the father of Ploy's son take? And no, Ploy's son, he's seen his dad once, and his dad borrowed his son's motorbike and crashed it, and given 5,000 baht to repair it, and he's never seen him since. And Ploy, a number of years ago, I mean, because all of Ploy's family are really, really nice, down-to-earth, hard-working people, apart from his son. And she said, how come my mum and dad brought me up and the rest of the family up, and we're all nice people, but he's a little, and she called him a little shit as well a number of years ago. And I said, she said, just like him. He was just like him. I said, well, there you go. I said, he's took his dad's genes. And she didn't understand. What do you mean he's took his dad's genes? I said, we all made up of like the man and the woman. I said, and we take, some parts of one and some parts of another. And I said, he's taken the lazy, idle, good for nothing genes from his dad. And I said, that's where he is. And he'll never, ever change because that's the way he is. Whereas the rest of Ploy's family are all hardworking, really, really hardworking, nice, down-to-earth people. So that's how I explained it. And she still didn't sort of understand it, but she accepted it. The Marriott Marquis in Norma Sushi. Oh, I don't like sushi. I went to Japan for 2 weeks and I lived on Burger King, KFC and McDonald's for 2 weeks. So I didn't like the Japanese food. I don't think it was recently. Came on the scene from the beginning. Must have missed that. If I get married in Thailand, do you recommend getting a prenup? Yes, I would. I'm a strong believer in prenup because sadly we live in a world of the women want everything. There's so many things. Again, in England now, there's a couple of women solicitors or one woman solicitor, and people ask her the questions. And basically, if you're a woman, you've got a kid and you don't work, ka-ching, you will get anything and everything that you want. But the guy who's worked, again, when I bought my house, I built a house and I used the profit from that house, £30,000, and put it down for the profit deposit on the house that we bought. And although we bought it together, it was me who paid for everything because she wasn't working. But then that became the marital asset, the £30,000. And Anne-Marie moved in with me. She had 2 suitcases full of clothes, living in a rented room in a rented house. So she brought nothing to the table. Bri ended up paying everything. And she ended up with a £160,000 house with a £30,000 mortgage and maintenance for the next 15 years. So she didn't do too badly out of it, did she? You're a guy, if you get screwed, I go for absolutely anything and everything. Prenup, if they don't want to sign a prenup, well, I wouldn't get married. Be careful, Leslie could call the ploy to take you to the cleaners. No, she can't do that. She can't do that because it's all been sorted. I just wanted to drop by and say I'm rooting for you. I watched your recent videos where you explained what happened. Stay strong. Greetings from San Francisco. Thanks very much, San Francisco. I love San Francisco. I went there and it was just a lovely place. Not so lovely now because I helped a lady move from San Francisco to Thailand because she felt unsafe there. Mick, let's be honest, you made a decision to end your marriage when you decided to stop financial support for your wife. I tried to provoke a reaction. I agree with what you're saying. Many people have said the same thing. They give up everything for 9,000 baht a month. But it was the principal thing. I don't know whether you were here when I talked about dealing with drug dealers before, many years ago, and the disdain that I had for these type of people, and the lie, the cheat, and I don't want to deal with people like that ever. And whilst I was giving Ploy the money, and it was hers to do with whatever she wanted to do with it, I agree. And for 9.5 years, I never told her what she should do. But I was dead against paying 9,500 baht a month for God knows how long to a son who didn't respect anything, didn't respect his mother, didn't respect me, didn't respect anybody at all. So why would I be happy that Ploy spending that amount of money on somebody non-deserving? So I just said to her, I said, I'm not going to pay for it. I said, I'll take my hat off and I admire that you want to protect your son. So I said, go and get a job and earn that 9,500 baht. Then you feel the pain of what your son's putting you through. But on the money that I was giving you, laid on your hammock, looking at the YouTube or looking at the TikTok, you don't feel the pain. But it's me who feels the pain because you are just wasting the money that I'm giving you. That's the feeling that I had. So yes, you can look upon it that way, but there's many ways of looking upon it. But I would say 95% of the comments that I got in all the videos that I've done are all in agreement with me. So you might be one of the odd ones that totally disagree with, and of course you're open to your opinion, but that's my take on it. Like most men, you justify why a man must sacrifice and without boundaries. Again, yeah, she went over the red line. Again, would I ask her to say, well, I'm going to reduce your salary because my daughter's got a drug problem, so you're going to help pay for my daughter's drug addiction? I don't think she'd be happy with that either. Yeah, I live by moral scruples and principles. And I've always been like that. And again, if somebody wants to cross that line, well, they do so at their own peril. I did ask Ploy to give me some solutions and answers and questions, but she took the easy way out and says, no, I'm going to leave you. So if I'm not worth fighting for or even talking to, why would I help support somebody who would take the easy way out? Life comes across with all sorts of problems, and every problem has a solution. And I had a couple of solutions myself, but I just wanted to know what Ploy's solution was, and she didn't have any apart from walk away. And like I said earlier on in this conversation, it was going to happen one day eventually, because her parents would need looking after and taken care of. And it's the ladies, Thai ladies' responsibility to take care of the parents. So again, this conversation is come early, because I'm sure I would have had this conversation maybe 1 or 2 years' time, because she would have certainly left as well to go and look after her parents. That's the thing with the Thai ladies over here. And again, I love it because it's family values, but sometimes the family values can come and bite you in the bum. Hi, Les from Middlesbrough. Be coming to Thailand in 2 months for 24 days. Well, if you're anywhere near your party or wherever, just send us an email. My emails are in the contacts below, and I'll come down and have a beer or two. I can show you the ropes of Pattaya. Good morning, Les. Just wanted to wish you and all the best for the videos, informative. Wishing you lots of fantastic travels. Thank you very much. Fair play to you. Wish you all the best, buddy. Thank you very much. Also, greetings from England. Nice to see you cheering up with lots of support here. Again, it's been very, very supportive. I've been very overwhelmed with the wishes of best wishes and support. And it crossed my mind that I threw everything away for 9,000 baht a month, or like 40-odd thousand. And then you look into everything else. Well, what if he goes to jail? Then Ploy'd end up paying the money for his food and protection money. So it's me who'd still be paying for that, even though it's out of her money. So I'm giving her money to support the family. I have no problems with supporting the family for the right reasons, the sickness in health and all of that lot. But because you're a drug addict, we all have choices. He chose the choice of easy money and easy drugs, and he's not paying for any of it because other people are bailing him out. And again, that's where I draw. Nobody give me anything in life. I've had to work hard for everything, and I'm not so keen to see it go away to those people who don't give a toss about anybody or anything. Morals, scruples, and principles. Hi, Les, Matty, Mam, Evie, Maisie from Granddaughters. Okay. Glad to see you're doing well, Les. I'm off to make brekkie. Have a good day. Thank you very much. I'll have a good day. What time is it now? Here it is 4 o'clock, so I'll be probably finish at 5 o'clock. If anybody's got any questions, I don't mind answering the question. You can ask anything you want. You know, I'm an open book, and I'll tell you how it is. 238 watching and only 4 likes. Only 4 likes. Oh, well, I can't see the likes on it. Yeah, but give it a like if everybody. I'm sure there's some valuable information that's getting pumped out here. But even the numbers, it's good for the YouTube algorithm. And thanks very much. Good luck to you, Les. It's good to stick by your beliefs. Thank you. Hit the button, people. Thank you very much. So, should I rename Retired and Living the Dream to something else now? I don't know. Am I still living the dream? I suppose I am. Somebody mentioned to me this morning with regard to I'm living many guys' dreams because I'm living over here in the first place. I mean, look my surroundings. It's lovely. I'm sat here. The fan is on in that direction to keep me cool. It's getting warm now. I get up in the morning, sit on the sofa behind us, that sofa there, and I watch the sunrise with my cup of coffee. And it is definitely that. I can't say I could never have that in the UK. I couldn't afford to live in the UK, even when I get my state pension, £2,500 a month. £1,000 of that would go towards a semi-decent house to live in. So that's, you know, crazy amount of money. Where here, I can still live a good lifestyle over here. There's a few more hurdles to jump through now, but it's nothing difficult to do. So Suggestion: retired and traveling the dream. Yeah. How about if it was your son? Again, okay, if it was I had my daughter. I explained earlier on that my daughter was going down the slippery slope, and I did that. So I'm not knocking Ploy for doing what she did. I take my hat off and I admire her, and I told her so as well. But I said, I wouldn't expect you to pay for my daughter. I wouldn't expect you to pay for my daughter if my daughter had the same problems. If you want to do it, you pay for his problem. Don't expect other people to pay. Again, that's just my moral scruples and principles. I worked hard for me money, and it's not so easy to give away to people who are not thankful for it. You can't find it. Okay, I'll write me SOM58 at yahoo.com. Right, there we go. That's my email address. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put it, which is even better. There you go. Leslie Pearson 58 at yahoo.com. There you go. That's the easiest way of doing it, isn't it? Again, feel free to ask any questions you want. I'm like an open book. I'm honest. Again, I talk about my life experiences about living here in Thailand with the rough and the smooth. And sadly, this is a bit of rough. But I'm honest about what's going on. I'm honest about the situation that we're in. I'm honest about my concerns as to my feelings. Have I done the right thing? Have I done the wrong thing? But I'm happy in my mind that I've done the right thing. And let's face it, we all do, or we all make a decision in your peace of mind or your way of thinking, because at the time it's right. And it's only in the future that it might not be right. And again, I may regret to do this, because Ploy was a lovely person, but she wasn't 100%. She wasn't 100%. But I look upon this is that it was going to happen one day anyway, because her parents are going to be sick and old, and Ploy, being the dutiful girl and loving her parents the way she does, was always going to go back and look after mum and dad. So I would have been on my own here anyway, the same scenario, and she would have left eventually anyway, because she's okay. She's not a poor Thai girl. She's got her own house, her own farm, her own land, almost self-sufficient. So she needs very, very little money to live on up there. So she's cracked it really. And I've cracked it here because I've still got my income, my pension. I've still got the house, the car and the motorbike. So in reality, as sad as it is, we're both okay. And I'm okay with that. UK state pension, I won't get that because I was contracted out. So I think I'll pick up about 600 quid a month. But that still gives me £2,500 a month to play around with. And I can do a lot of playing around for £2,500 a month. I missed that about the house being in her. Hang on. The house isn't in her name because we're buying the house on a rent to buy deal. So she's got no hold on the house until I paid the last payment. And then, because now that's a number of years away, she isn't going to be around for that to happen. Les, getting a divorce in Thailand straightforward, and can your ex be entitled to some of your assets like she would in the UK? Yes, she would be entitled to some of the assets. She's entitled to half of everything that we've built together. But she would have to show that she's made some contribution towards it. And of course, the house, because it's a rent to buy, we don't own the house until we pay the last payment. So unless she's going to pay the next 1.8 million baht to it, she's never going to own it, is she? So she's never going to be able to say, well, I made a contribution towards that. So if I'd have paid for it or bought the house outright, then she could have, said it's a marital asset and claimed up to 50% of it. But I've done videos on how you can save yourself from losing that amount of money, and there's ways and means of doing it. And hopefully I've ticked all of them boxes. So again, I'm okay here. The car is in my name. She transferred everything over to my name. We bought the car on finance, so it had to be in Ploy's name. I trusted Ploy, and I still do trust her. And it was her idea to change the car over, and she actually saved me money. There was an easy way of doing it for 2,500 baht, or there was a little bit more difficult way of doing it, cost 105 baht. She chose a little bit more difficult way, and I only had to pay 105 baht to buy to change the car over. So that's what I'm saying. She was honest right up until the day she left. So I've got no complaints about that. I would keep your channel the name as it is. That's how we know you. Now it's aspirational, and hopefully one day life will feel better again. Yeah, thank you very much for that. I sort of semi-agree with you. Everybody knows me as Les and living the dream, and I'm still living the dream, but it's just a different chapter. It could be worse, Les. You could be back in Redcar, onwards and upwards. Well, I'm back in Redcar in May. I'm flying back on the 4th of May for a month, maybe 2 months. We'll see what happens. It should be interesting to see how much things have gone up in the last 2 years. Why is the retirement visa easier than the marriage visa? Oh my goodness, I could talk for an hour for this. 7 years we've been doing the marriage visa, and every year we came across with problems, or the immigration lady came across with extra paperwork required that was over and above what was required in the first. She was a stickler. She was a horrible lady in the immigration department. So there's a whole heap of paper like that, and it takes an hour to go through the paperwork for a marriage visa. Retirement visa, you're in and out in 15 minutes. So again, yeah, I meet the requirements for the retirement visa. I don't have the 800,000 baht in the bank, but I have the monthly income method. My pension is above that, so I'm okay as far as proving the amount of money is concerned. And there's a couple of ways I can do it in-house over here, or I can go, when I go back to England, I can do it in England, get the ball rolling in England. So then I already meet the financial requirements in England. So yeah, there's a number of ways of doing it. So I'm not worried about that at all. The paperwork is going to get done for the divorce, which is a simple matter. We're both in agreement with how we're going on, and one day we'll just get down to the AMPA. I'll probably have to go up to CQ, like a 6 or 7 hour drive to get up there to sign the paperwork in the office. But I don't mind that, because then I'll just carry on, go to Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai and Pai, which I love anyway. But getting a divorce here, if everything's hunky-dory, then it's no problems whatsoever. Life's short, enjoy every moment. Exactly. 2 of my friends have died in the past 2 months. 2 of my friends, I'll answer this other question in a minute. 2 of my friends have died in the last couple of months. So our days are numbered. They're in the early 70s, and both of them died. So again, I've got more years behind us than I have in front of us. So I need to do the things. It's no good sitting around and moping and groaning and thinking, woe is me, because that day is a wasted day. So somebody said that, would I feel lonely? And, no, I won't, because I've got all sorts of weird ways of looking at life type of thing. But on a night time, 6 o'clock, when it got dark here, 7 o'clock, I was with my headphones watching the movie, and Ploy was on her iPad watching her movies. So although we were together, we weren't together, because she was just laid on the sofa, I was laid on the sofa, and we both watched different programs. So basically from 7 o'clock until 10 or 11 o'clock when I went to bed, we never spoke anything at all. And Ploy, when she's around doing the things, doing the gardening or laid in the hammock, although we were together, we weren't together, if you know what I mean. So do I feel lonely at the time? And now I don't know, because on a night time I'm thinking she would just been laid there while I'm watching the TV anyway, or the movies. And now I can have the music on and the sound turned up a little bit without fear of she saying, turn it down, turn it down. So no, I don't feel lonely on the night time. I got plenty of friends. I've got plenty of things to do. It opens up a few doors, and loneliness can soon be combated by actually getting your finger out and doing something about it. So no, I don't feel like that. Les, I would stay put where you live is beautiful and your home is established. Just my view. I agree 100% of what you said. But one day I may sell the house, because then it's 3 million baht in my pocket, and I can do another round the world trip, because I love me round the world trip, a lifetime's experience. Whereas if I die, who do I give the 3 million baht to? Who's that going to go to? You know, the house. So, yeah. So I'm going to spend it and enjoy it on me. But eventually, I'll come back to Thailand, or I'll live somewhere cheap, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. The world's my oyster, and you don't need to pay expensive rentals to live anywhere. And I'll spend the money. So it's all spent on me. So I've known it's, what's the point of having 3 million baht to give it to nobody? That's my view of it anyway. It might not be your view. Everybody's got their own different views. Looking forward to the new videos for the next chapter. Yeah, again, they'll start next week. Financial, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Thailand is a scam to fleece the foreigner. I disagree with that. Emailed you, Les, from John from Middlesbrough. Okay, I'll have a look at my emails and I'll get back to you tonight or later on this afternoon. Money, 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 me, me, me. Yeah, money, 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 me, me, me. That's exactly what I'm going to do. 15 million baht, doesn't she get half? Where's 15 million baht come from? Nobody's ever mentioned 15 million baht. 1.5 million, that's three. That's we sold the house for 3 million, and if I'd already paid for the house, then she's entitled to half of the house, which is 1.5 million. But as the house isn't paid for and it's on a rent-to-buy scheme, she's got no hold on it. Hopefully you keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate your help and discussions. Thank you very much. She's not entitled to anything if your marriage is not registered. Well, it is registered. I got married properly because I got married properly so she would get the benefit of my fire brigade pension. If I wasn't married properly, then it'd be a sham. It would be a waste of time. And I wouldn't be able to get the marriage visa based on if it's not registered. So yeah, the future for Ploy, this is what she's walked away from. A guaranteed pension for the rest of her life for as long as she lives. And she would have got the house as well. So she's walked away from that. Again, it was a big decision for her to do that, but that's up to her. Question, do you ever go to the races at Redcar? I went once. I just live around the corner from the race course, and horse racing really isn't for me. QQ, just enjoy yourself. I am, and I'm going to start enjoying myself from tomorrow. Why is Thailand not a scam for foreigners? Well, why do you think it's a scam for foreigners? It's cheap to live here. It's not. It's probably one of the easiest countries to get a visa for. All the signs and everybody, well, not everybody, but there's a lot of people who can speak English to help you out if you're an English-speaking person. Everything, there's not. Why is it a scam? What do you think it's a scam for? What do you think? What's the biggest thing that you think they're scamming foreigners on that no other country does? Good luck for your future. Look after yourself. Jeff from Liverpool. Thank you very much, Jeff. I intend to look after myself. Fit, healthy, and new life. How much monthly income should a single guy have in Thailand apart from their savings to live comfortably? Again, how long's a piece of string, really? If you live where I am, you could live on 30 or 40,000 baht a month. Absolutely easy if you have got the girlfriend or the wife. But if you're living in Pattaya, then it'd be a lot more. It's probably about 70 or 80,000 baht a month. A lot of it depends on your wants and needs. If you want to go sit in a bar every day, then that's expensive. If you want adult entertainment every week, that's expensive. Ladies' companies, that's expensive. The lady drinks are expensive. The bar fines are expensive. So it can cost you a lot of money living in the tourist areas like the Pattaya or Bangkok or Phuket, things like that. But normal everyday living, you could easily do it on 50 or 60,000 baht a month, easily. Pardon me. When you divorce, she will surely get half of your pension. Who will get half of my pension? No, she won't. She won't get anything. Thailand is different. It's not like the UK. Dual pricing is the only annoyance. Yeah, but again, you just don't go in. Again, national parks, like Course-of-Met, it's 200 baht for a foreigner, 40 baht for a Thai, but it's worth the 200 baht. I'm not going to argue over that. But going into various amusement parks or museums and stuff like that, I won't pay the extra. Let's pack your shit, close out your lease, and head over to Soy Bacau and join the dozens of broke relationship guys. Broken relationship guys for free. Now free. Oh, hang on, I missed that. I'm going to have to read that because. Hang on, what was that? Guys with free app, living and windmill at night. I've been to the windmill. I used to take people around Pattaya in my younger days, the newbies. So I used to do that. So I know all about Pattaya, the good, the bad, the ugly. Again, I ain't going to be woe is me to the guys on the bar stools in Pattaya. I'll talk to anybody and everybody when I go. I'm going there tomorrow for 2 or 3 days. I'm meeting up with a couple of people. Pattaya isn't all about woe is me. It's a Pinocchio land. It's a playground for guys, but you can also be hurt there as well. How is it easy to get a visa? Well, it is easy if you meet the financial conditions. You can also get a visa agent to do it. And let's say if you don't have any income whatsoever, you have nothing, you can still get a visa to live here. It'll cost you about 45,000 baht, and they'll give you a visa and you can live here for a year. Question, are you actually relieved that this has happened? You seem quite relieved and maybe even a little excited about the future. Were you perhaps in a bit of a rut? No. It's acceptance. It's acceptance to it. How long do you mope, and how long do you feel like, oh, woe is me, where of this? No, because I've been married 4 times, and getting a divorce is never easy. And I've had them bad days, and I've been in that deepest, darkest hole, and like, woe is me. So I've been there, so I know what it's like, and I know it doesn't last forever. And this is me, day 5. I'm relieved. Did I want it to happen? Of course it didn't want to happen. I love Ploy very much. She was a fantastic girl. She's probably one of the best girls I've ever been with in my life. But that time is gone. It's over. And looking at it now with a clear head, with something that crossed my mind a while and a few times ago, thinking, who's going to look after mum and dad when they get sick? And now I can look at it through a clear vision and thinking it was going to be Ploy. So Ploy is always going to look after her mum and dad. So by her leaving now, she's left 2 or 3 years, maybe sooner than she would have done, because I'm sure she would have done, 100% she would have done, because she loves a family. She loves her mum and dad more than anybody else in the world. And not even me could have stopped her from doing that. So am I relieved? Was it in a rut? No, I wasn't in a rut, because as you see, we had many holidays. We had a good time together, and them 9.5 years were a good time together, and I loved every minute of it. And but it was what it is. What it is. Time to move on. Okay, let's have a look. What region are you in? I'm in Rayong. The northeast is good, yeah. Eastern area, again, it's all countryside, isn't it? I don't like the countryside. Well, I do like the countryside, but here I've got the best of both worlds. I'm semi-rural, but I live 8 minutes away from a beautiful beach. Invest 2.5 million gold bullion, gold Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going, isn't it? Bitcoin is crashed. Now I'm going to spend all my money. I'm not going to invest it in whom we're going to leave it to. I'm going to invest it in Les Pearson, and Les is going to spend every penny of it. Did your stepson know you were a firefighter, and did you teach him about it? No, I didn't, because his grandparents looked after him up at the farm. So I had very little to do with him, because from day one, I told Ploy I didn't want her son to live with me. I've had my days of looking after kids, and I looked upon it. You can call me selfish, you can call me whatever you want. But if you're going up with a new girlfriend, you set the record straight from day one. You know, I didn't want any kids living with me, or parents, or grandparents, or anybody else. It was just me and her. And she either accepted that or she didn't, but she accepted it. And that was the way it went. It's the same now in the future. Nobody else, if I get another girlfriend, it's just me and her. Nobody else is going to be moving in this house. We're not going to be looking after any aged parents or things like that. I'm on my guard now. I've learned a big lesson. And the big lesson is to do a little bit more research and see what the future could possibly hold. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're there to pay, and they'll keep asking and we'll keep paying. But one day it has to stop. Where can I find someone to help me pay for that visa? Send me an email on the address there, lesliepearson50@yahoo.com, and I'll give you a couple of suggestions. And the guy speaks really good English because he's from Ireland and he's in Pattaya, and I think it's about 35, maybe 40,000 baht now. But I'm going to do a little bit more digging around when I go to Pattaya, and I'm going to go and see various agents, because now, again, I still get people asking me for this type of thing, and I need to go and sit and talk to them and get some up-to-date visa advice, because the visa rules have changed, that's for sure. Les is an experienced divorcee. I am, yes. This is my fourth one. So sad, make her an offer, negotiate. No, negotiations are over. The door is closed, the bolt has been put on, no going back. Anyway, any thoughts as to why Ply's son turned out the way he did? Yes, because his dad was the same. He's taken his dad's genes of being lazy, idle, good for nothing. We're all made up of both parents, but sometimes you can take the genes of more of one person's nature than another. Because Ply asked the same question. It's all to do with your genes and your build-up. The whole of Ply's family are wonderful, hardworking, lovely, salt-of-the-earth people, but his son is the laziest, idlest, good for nothing from day one that I met him. And he's never disappointed me and been that way. And he just got worse as he got older. Keep your money safe, spend it on yourself, and enjoy your life. That's what I intend to do. Fantastic turnout of the live stream, Les. 235 now. Yeah, 230. Yeah, a good. I think it's provoked a lot of interest, without a doubt. My friend in Pattaya always reminds me of this saying: if you are a giver, please know the limits, because takers don't have any. Yeah, I'd agree with that one. You'll be fine, Les. Just look forward for now. A friend of mine, I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and he came up with a perfect analogy, and I'm going to use this time and time again because it's so fitting. And he used to have his own business and employ quite a few people. And he said, I used to see this on a daily basis, Les. And he said, it's simple. He said, I've met many hardworking people become lazy. But he said, I've never met one lazy person that's become hardworking. And there's some truth in that. I mean, can anybody go against that? Does anybody know a person that was really, really lazy but turned out to be a salt-of-the-earth, nice person? I can't think of one. But again, I know plenty of hardworking people that have become lazy. What age do you have to be to apply for a retirement visa? 50. You can apply for a retirement visa at the age of 50. You need to have 800,000 baht in the bank, or an income method of 65,000, or you get an agent, you don't need any money. Does Ply watch your channel? No, she doesn't. Never has done, never will do. But again, I'm not saying anything bad against Ply. I'm saying plenty of bad things about her son, but I've said these things face to face with her, and that's why she's took umbrage to it, because, you know, if somebody disrespected my family, I wouldn't be very happy about it. And you're always going to defend your own, and she's defending him, but she's never ever once even said he's ruined my life, he's ruined yours, he's ruined me mum and dad's life. She's never ever castigated him for doing what he's done. And that's a little bit annoying as well, the fact that he has no remorse of what he's done. He's never said sorry that I've caused you this problem, mum, sorry that I've caused this problem for you and Les. Never. So that's why I'm not upset that the fact that it's happened. Les, you're a good geezer. Best of luck for the future. Thanks very much. Much appreciated. Yeah, life goes on. Away we go. And that's just one of life's. I'm not the only one. And I'm sure, again, the video that I put up this morning, washing the car, that had 3,600 in a couple of hours. So that's going to be another one with 10,000 views or so. It would appear that divorce is a good subject to talk about. And Thailand is a good recovery place. It can be a bad recovery place as well, but it can also be a good. Just because one is hardworking doesn't mean you are a nice person. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Just because you are lazy doesn't make you a bad person. But it doesn't make you a good person being lazy either, does it? Do you think the son had a lot of resentment knowing you didn't want anything to do with him? You could have changed that lad's life. I could have changed the lad's life. I used to encourage him because he was quite a clever young man. And he was always in the top 5 of the school pupils that always achieved things. So I always, every time he came home and he said he was my mum, I've got the certificate, I'm like the 5th best or whatever, I used to give him 500 baht. I took him out when we went up to the farm for treats, bought him stuff, went swimming, bought all his food, bought him new clothes and stuff like that. So it's not as if I didn't try, but when somebody doesn't give you the respect back and you're thinking, well, why should I carry on doing this? For instance, I used to say to him, put your seatbelt on, because he was in the back of the car and I would never allow anybody to sit in the car without the seatbelt on. He used to look me squarely in the rear view mirror when I used to say, Chem cap, you know, like, put your seatbelt on, please. And he used to just sit there, look at me, stare at me, never even blink, just look, thinking, no. So the employee gets in the car, Chem cap, put your seatbelt on, and he put it on, but then he put the strap underneath his arm so it wasn't on properly. Little occasions like that, you know, put the window up or shut the door when you get out. If the door didn't shut properly, you wouldn't come back and shut the door properly. I could just go on and on and on like that. Just no thanks forever. Ploy used to tell him to say, oh, say thanks to Les, say thanks to Les. And I said, stop telling him to say thanks to me. I said, if he can't say it of his own volition, then it's not worthwhile him saying it. And then once you stop telling him to say it, he never ever said it again. So we give him money. I tried to, I said to Ploy, I'll help him, you know, we'll pay. He wanted to be a aircon engineer. And I said, we'll help pay to get his finger out so he can be an aircon, and I'll give them half of his salary to sort of encourage him to take him on. So instead of paying him 10,000 baht, well, they only have to pay 5,000, because I was going to donate the 5,000 baht a month to give him a start rather than working on the field. Didn't want to do it at all. So that's what I'm saying. It's not as if I didn't try to help him, but again, you only hold the stick out so many times, and if they just ignore it, you just think, why bother? Give to those who appreciate it. Give to those who want to be helped, not to those people who are scumbags like they are in England, who just want everything for nothing. Sounds like it's just a spoiled child. Oh, I missed that. Fair play, Les. Thank you. Hi, maybe leave Ploy the pension still as a respect for years with you. Again, we've talked about that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Sounds like a typical male child who was spoiled. Yeah. And too much ABBA. Yeah, well, he took ABBA to a very high degree, and she's never going to tell me. I said, this is my prediction. He's come to see you because he owes money, because he's spent other people's money supplying his habit, and now he owes other people money. And she's obviously never going to tell me the truth, is she, with that? Obviously, you have bots to support your channel. Well, if that's what you think, well, go ahead and think that. But I have no bots for anything at all. You can only help someone who wants to be helped. Exactly, 100%. If you don't meet another, as it will just disappear away. Again, I've thought about that. Yeah, at the minute, because we're still married and we haven't got the divorce paper signed yet, so anything happens to me, she's going to get the pension. And I've no qualms about that. But one day, if I meet somebody else, then, you know, that just, if I meet somebody else or go down that road, then that's going to change the situation, isn't it? Why should Ploy get it if I got a new girlfriend and she gets nothing? I'm not as patient as you. I would have left earlier on. Yeah, well, again, you know, patience and doing the right thing. And your negativity drives these girls away. 5 marriages. No, it's not 5. That's where you're wrong. It's not 5 marriages. It's 4 marriages. And negativity, how do you come across that I'm negativity? Because at the end of the day, I worship the ground that all the ladies have, and I've given, and I've been a good provider. So, no, you're wrong. Give money, maybe shared experiences be better. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Bots and paid for views. Never ever paid for the bots, or never ever done any advertising. It is what it is. The son sounds like Ben Newton. He is a Ben Newton for sure. It's embarrassing to the British YouTube community, this guy. Oh, hang on. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's get rid of you. See you later. Thanks very much for your comments. Bye-bye for now. Tosser. I don't get many tossers, but he's a tosser, so see you later. You're banned from the channel, so no more comments from him. Again, 95% of the people have agreed what I've done. And again, if they want to be dickheads, then they'll just get deleted. I think you've been a bit hard on the birthday thing. I don't need present, just happy birthday. Wish when you woke up. Again, I mean, that was just one example. You know, it's just, yeah. I mean, again, you can think of that, but again, we all have our wants and needs, don't we? And, you know, to get your birthday present at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, not when you wake up, and they give you a happy birthday hug, and then, oh, there's your present at 2 o'clock. Again, we all have our limits, don't we? Let's don't respond to the self-described grandpa. No. Yeah, it's a known troll. Yeah, again, I don't suffer many trolls, but again, I just delete them. There's if you've got nothing to say, that's good. Don't say nothing at all. Look ahead, let's wonder, and behind, no regrets. Maybe the future can get back together. No, who knows? No, definitely that door is bolted. And I can say for sure, I've gone back on a couple of relationships, my Chinese wife and my first Thai girlfriend here, and it's never worked. And I don't think it ever works. So I've learned that lesson, no going back. And I don't regret the decisions. As I said, be with the people who want to be with you. Don't be with the people who I mean, life has all sorts of problems, but she walked away. She walked away from all of this lot. And I admire that she's done that. But it means also that I wasn't worth fighting for, to keep all of them good things by coming to some compromise. So again, look after the people who want to be with you. And if they don't want to be with you, why flog a dead horse? You did the right thing, move on. You are healthy and ready for another. Thanks very much. Is divorce quicker here? Yeah, divorce is quicker here. If everything is hunky-dory and you both agree to the same things, you just go to the ampere, you're in and out in 10 or 15 minutes. But again, if there's a lot of problems, then you end up going in front of a judge, and it's a bit like the UK. It can be a problem. But me and Ploy, we have no problems with that. You know, she signed everything over to me. The house isn't an issue. So we just need to go to the ampere and sign everything over. it's a 10-minute. It's the 7-hour drive up to CQ, but I don't have a problem with that because I'm going. That won't happen now until after I come back from the UK in July, June, July time. But then I'll head up towards Chiang Mai and Pai, and I like it up there anyway. So I'll just alter me trips, and I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I wonder what percentage of Thai Farang marriages actually last. Must be a small percentage. Yeah, I would agree with that. If you get divorced, will that be an issue for staying in Thailand? No issue at all. It just means I have to change from a marriage visa to a retirement visa. So it's no issue at all. Again, it's quite often that it happens. Thanks all to the best for the next post of your life journey. No problem. Again, there's many things I want to do. And I will do the things that I want to do because now it gives me the opportunity to do the things. Some of the things that Ploy didn't want to do, she doesn't like flying, so that limits us to where we could go. A lot of the places we're going to be in Thailand, and we've visited most places in Thailand, and we've been to Pai 5 times in the 9 years that we've been together, and I like Pai. Again, South Koh Samui. I went to Koh Samui. I fell in love with Koh Samui, and that changed my life, Koh Samui. But on the revisit with Ploy, it was just totally against how I felt in Koh Samui because it wasn't the beautiful tropical island that I fell in love with and the girl that changed my life over there with the values and how to live and stuff like that, which honestly changed my thinking of life. It's just totally gone. It's commercialized now. It doesn't feel like a tropical island. Whereas the other places around here near where I live, Koh Kud for one of them, it is that tropical, beautiful, white-sanded island, what everybody's dream of paradise is. Not like Koh Samui, where it's full of every man and his dog. So yeah, there's things I can go and do here, and I will be doing. I never moved to the marriage visa. Decided I wouldn't just in case. Yeah, well, it's not easy. It's not difficult to change from one to the other. It may be an issue if they change the requirements for a retirement visa. Well, if they do that, if they change the requirements for the retirement visa, then I'll just move somewhere else. I can live in Vietnam. I can live in Laos. I can live in Cambodia. I can live in the Philippines. And that's where a lot of the people are going because Thailand is shooting themselves in the foot at the minute. So again, we have options. We have the options because we've got the finances to do. And if you've got the finances, then you just go wherever that. Thailand isn't forever if they make things difficult. That's why a lot of people have moved. You have 7 days from the divorce papers being signed before the marriage is cancelled. Yeah, again, we haven't signed the marriage papers, and it takes 2 to sign the marriage papers, and we're both okay for now without signing it. Because while we're still married, if anything happens to me, Ploy gets the pension and the insurance and stuff like that. We both need a little bit of space, which we're doing, but there's definitely no going back. We both know that is never, ever going to happen. But I said to her, I said, let's just suck it and see how we go. And I'm going away to England in May. So I said, when we come back from May, that's when we'll do all the paperwork. She's not going to get married again in a hurry, and neither am I. So there's no rush to do that. Vietnam doesn't have a retirement visa. No, it doesn't have a retirement visa, but the visa, they give you a 45-day visa now. But Vietnam, I love Vietnam. It's a beautiful place. Yeah, Thailand really are shooting themselves in the foot. Lots of us Farang are feeling the same. Thailand need to sharpen up. You know, all the things that they're doing to put people off. And they're doing a lot of things to put people off. Yeah. Let's have a look. Three, extremely rare in Thai culture: family, food, and farming in that order. Yeah, family comes number 1. It's a big lesson that I learned. You know, Ployer's walked away from this beautiful house that we've got that was going to be hers. She's walked away from a pension of about 45 to 50,000 baht a month for the rest of her life when I pass, and something like 1 million bahts worth of life insurance, and everything that comes with it, a 3 million baht house. So she's walked away and left all of that lot for a druggy son. So again, it's a big ask. So it's why I'm a little bit disappointed, the fact that she didn't argue, saying, well, how can I keep this? What do I need to do to, you know, to help keep this? And see if we could come up with some compromises. I had a couple of compromises in mind, but I wanted to know how she felt. And when she said, I'm going to leave you, I think, well, okay, now I know how you feel. So her mind was made up. So off she went. And like I've said earlier on in the video, this day was going to come one day or another at some time, because she loves her parents. So she's always going to take care of her parents. So she would have left one day or another. She's not a poor girl. She's got her own house. She's got her own farm. She's got sort of independence up there. The fish, the chickens, sort of self-sufficient with vegetables and stuff like that. They've got a lot of land there, so they can rent it out. So she's never, ever going to suffer like a lot of other people over here. She's quite well-to-do. She was more wealthy than me. So she isn't going to struggle that much. She's going to certainly have a different life. She has to get up at 5 o'clock every morning there, where she used to get up at 10 o'clock. But she's with her parents, and she loves her parents dearly. So that, you know, counteracts losing me, if you like, because she's got what she loves. She loves her parents more than she loves me. And I don't have a problem with that. Thailand is moving up market. It is moving up market. It's trying to move up market, trying to increase, you know, the good people in and bad people out. How can you keep your house after divorce if you can't own land? Because I can transfer it. Like I said earlier on, you might have missed it. I'm buying the house on a rent-to-buy basis, so I don't own the house. I don't own the land. The landlady still owns the house and the land, and it only becomes transferable once I pay the last payment. And the last payment is in maybe I think I can pay it off in 3 years' time. So then it's my decision who I signed the house over to. Now, I've got a good friend who's married to a Thai girl. I could put it into her name and get a 30-year lease for that. And then if I want to sell the house in the meantime, then I just sell the house as normal. But I have a 30-year lease to live here. So there's ways and means around it. It's not difficult to do, and it's legal, and it's above board, and it's not underhanded. Or I could sell the house even now for 3 million, and somebody else would take over the payments. As long as I give the landlady the 3 million for the house, then it's job done, no problem. But I agree with you. A foreigner can't own the land, but there's ways and means of living here, and by putting it into a lease in a trusted Thai person's name, you're okay. And as long as you do it with a lawyer, even if that trusted person becomes somebody you don't like, they can't do nothing. Can't do nothing because it's your lease. So again, there are mechanisms there to protect you. Culturally, they don't think or plan about the future. It's not surprising. Again, they do live sort of like from day to day. Employer just saying you can't do nothing about yesterday, but today you can't. You can change today, but tomorrow you can definitely change because you can think about tomorrow. Rent to buy, yeah, I'm paying so much money every month. Then eventually, when I pay the last installment, then it's my house. I live in my wife's village, nice home, which is interesting experience, but I have put my foot down on any kids living with us, particularly when the boys have kids. Not happening, or I move out. Again, there's a few people that I know that have troublesome kids or troublesome family. And to be fair, the girl that you're with, they're very secretive. They don't want you to know the bad things that are going on in life. For instance, like a couple of times when we went to the farm, I may not be able to understand or speak Isan. I can understand a little bit of Thai, but Isan, I've no idea. But you know, when there's a tone of voice and people are shouting with a tone of voice and somebody's there, you're thinking somebody's getting told off of you. And Ploy's son used to have a motorbike, and that was chained up more often than not. And that was a punishment. So he couldn't drive the motorbike because it was chained and padlocked up. So again, he was a bad lad. A lot of the times that we went up there, just totally ignored me whenever we went there. And for instance, I built an extension on the side of the house so I could park the car underneath the extension at Ploy's house. He always made sure that extension was full of stuff, so I couldn't park the car underneath the extension I built. So I had to park the car in Ploy's mum and dad's farm. Ploy's mum and dad used to make space for me car, not under Ploy's veranda, because Lung, her son, made sure it was full of junk and that. He never ever tidied everything up so I could park the car there. That was just his little way of thinking, I don't care, you're not parking your car here. Never ever cleaned the house, even though he lives there rent-free. Every time we went, we had to dig the bathroom out because it was minging. You know, we used to go up there maybe every 2 or 3 months for a week or 2 weeks. So we used to have to spend hours cleaning the house, all the dust, cobwebs in the house, because he never ever tidied anything up. Just, right. Sounds as dodgy as your UK pension plan. What's dodgy about my UK pension plan like? What sounds dodgy? A son is 18. He's 18 years old. Farang Travels. Yeah, you've always got something to say. So what was dodgy about my UK pension plan then? I've got a 6-year-old daughter. Yeah, I mean, girls tend to be a little bit more amenable than boys because boys just grow up with a. I mean, the young men in Thailand, they drink, they gamble, they expect their wives to go out to work, they cheat. A boy's life over here is sort of a privileged life, if you like. The girls do everything. I mean, how many women have you seen mixing concrete and getting the roads built and stuff like that? To how many guys are working? You know, the ladies over here in Thailand work extremely hard, whereas the young lads are just tossers in my mind. Some of them are just tossers. You get the occasional hard-working one, but very, very far and few between. Is it normal for them to be a little selfish at 6? I don't know. Again, kids are kids, aren't they? It's the way they are. You're making me laugh. The very first time I walked in her home, my face must have been so shocked. They all saw it was started cleaning the home. I left and checked in at the hotel. Yeah. Again, yeah. I mean, Ploy's got a lovely house, and it was 80% finished when I met Ploy. And I just finished a lot. It's about 95% finished now. I used to go around there and fix it. I put the carport on. That was 20,000. I plasterboarded the ceiling and the bathroom because I used to enjoy doing the DIY, and it was my thing. I love building, so I enjoyed doing it. But then when the son got a little bit older, and I'm thinking, well, he does nothing in here, so why should I spend my money on doing this house up? He gets the benefit of it because Ploy lives with me down in here. So, and he does nothing for it. So I stopped making any improvements. Like the shower stopped working. 3,500 baht to fix the shower. I ended up having cold showers with a bucket and pail rather than spend 3,500 baht that he would benefit from. The pump from the water storage tank broke. Another 5,000 baht to fix that. I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to fix that because he does nothing for it. If he was a nice, amenable and hardworking young man, that would have helped tremendously. But you're not going to give money to people who don't do anything for it. 6 months out of the country. Yeah, well, if you notice on that Mr. Farang Travels, it was through a paper. It wasn't a dodgy. It took 11 months to get a decision maker to make the decision. When actual fact, the Department of Work and Pensions were telling people, yes, you will get the pension rise. And it's only because of my badgering the Department of Work and Pensions, I got a decision from the Department of Work and Pensions. But without people fighting these causes, then it would never get answered. You'd never get a proper answer. So anyway, Farang Travels, thanks very much for your comments, and you've never been a really good. So see you later. He's a pain in the ass. You know, he complains about anything and everything. And so that's 2 people I've deleted from the channel today. Oh, it's not too bad, is it? 2 out of 249 people. Kids, I agree. I don't want her to grow up to be a spoilt though. Again, I did that to my kids. When I got divorced, I spoiled the kids. I give them everything. And now I've never spoken for 10 years. They hate the ground that I walk on. And that's all to do with the mothers, you know, bad mouthing me. But again, I'm a member of the parents' action groups because whatever's going on with the women and using the kids as a pawn and punishing the dads from it, but expecting the maintenance. It's the same thing that happened to me 15 or 20 years ago. So yeah, women can be horrible people also. How would you describe your relationship with Ploy now? Friends. I wish her the best of luck. You know, I don't wish her any bad feeling. I hope she gets things sorted out, and I hope she lives a life that's better than what it is at the minute. So now I've got no malice. I've got nothing against Ploy. She's still a nice person. She will always be an open and honest person. How old is Ploy? Ploy is 40 in May. If you don't mind me asking, do you think Ploy really loved you or your money? I don't mind you asking, and I would say majority of guys, it's the money she loved. Love and Thai relationships, for me, don't sort of work hand in hand, but you can say that in any Western world. You know, no woman is going to love a man with no money. And a lot of women love the men for the money they have, and they don't love the man. And that's the world out. No money, no honey. And again, I sort of accepted that. Our relationship wasn't perfect, but the love, but saying that, I've never had the love that I expected of any girl that I've lived with. You know, I did anything and everything for these girls and to the best of my abilities, but it was never reciprocal. It was never, ever given back. And I just sort of accepted that, and Ploy was one of the other girls. There's only ever been one girlfriend who went overboard, and I think, well, I like this. But we split up for different reasons. But she was the only one who sort of give the love and affection back to me as I give to her. And that's one out of all the relationships that I've had. So I would say Thailand, a lot of love. I don't think they know the true understanding of love compared to what the Westerners think. Money is definitely number one over here, and they'll put up with anything because it's money. So that's a pretty blunt an answer to the question that you want. I'm a foreign stepdad in Thailand. Majority of guys are. Majority of Thai ladies have a son or a daughter, and most Thai guys don't want to be with another Thai lady because of other kids. They don't want to be responsible for other kids, where Westerners step into that and think nothing of it, really. But the Thai guys, that's why they don't want to be with a Thai woman who's already got kids, because it's not theirs. I'm interested in retiring in Cambodia. What are your thoughts of Cambodia? I've never been to Cambodia, so I can't really judge on it, but I might give it a look one day. You've got Susslays. The UK is a crap hole. I reckon 95% of guys over 60 would swap places with you. Live well, man. Yep, I would agree with that. Hello, Dave. Hello, Les. Everything that I can do, let me know, and let's have a beer soon. Yeah, again, like I was discussing earlier on, I might be going up to Karat to sign the divorce papers when I come back in July or August time. So I'll make an effort and I'll come up and see you on my way up to Chiang Mai or Pai or stuff like that. But we'll definitely meet up, Dave, for sure. Thanks very much for your support. Much appreciated. Thanks very much. That's sad to hear. Yeah, but it's been truthful, isn't it? Australia stuffed Australia also. Yeah, I think Australia, America, Canada, New Zealand, all the Western countries are sick of what's going on. Great live stream, Les. Thanks very much. Interesting times ahead. Yeah, interesting times ahead. Again, I've sort of planned, see what's going on, and hopefully, fingers crossed. I'll show a few videos, but it's not the end of the world getting divorced at 65-year-old. That's for sure. And living in Thailand, there's plenty of things that can cheer you up a little bit, but it can also be a bad, lonely place as well. Thank God I stayed single. Yep. Okay, cheers, Dave. Well, mate, I'll let you know. I've got your details. Yeah, it's a strange one here, isn't it? What do you do? I like being with somebody, but for me now, I'm 65. Don't want to get into another relationship, with all the stresses and strains that come with it. Or do I want to just live on my own and just stay and play, if you like, and just have occasional flings. When all said and done, I'm an hour and a half away from Pattaya if I need to go and have some adult entertainment. I live in a beautiful place here, starting again with a new relationship and because I didn't have a relationship before I met Ploy. I was on my own for 9 months, and I was about to leave and go to Europe and live in a van for 6 months of the year, and then live in Thailand for 6 months of the year. That's back on the list again now, so I still may end up getting a van, living around England and England and Europe, and do that. Les, Matt, you're a good man. One door shuts, another door up. Exactly, and I'll be looking at a few doors next week. I use Capcom's because of my eyesight. Oh, well, okay, thanks very much for that. 26-year age gap, yes. Immigration said to me, next time I need to apply for a holiday visa, not free entry visa, would you use agency to get one? I'd listen what the immigration suggestion to you, then go and have a chat with the visa agent, see what it's all about. Asian women are all the same with regards to money. Western ones may be 1% better. I'm still looking, and as soon as the money seed becomes the main issue, I'm off. Yeah, well, I think I think that the Thai girls are clicking on to the Western ladies, if you want. I've talked to a few guys over the past 2 or 3 days, and they're on the internet looking for girlfriends, Thai friendly and stuff. And the question is, have you got a house? They're asking the questions, because the guy that I'm talking to is also 65. And they're asking the questions, are you worth bothering? Because at 65-year-old, we're old. When all said and done, we're old. Have we got anything to bring to the table? And again, when he was asking them questions, or when they were asking him the questions, he's just deleted them. Because already they're matching us up against our worth as to are we worth being with and that. So age might be against us for getting into a new relationship. Who knows? But I'm going to play that game over the next few months anyway. And again, I'll do a few videos about it and be honest and blunt about it and tell you what goes on and how it goes on. And let's see where we go from that. It'd be quite funny, I think. It seems to me that these Thai people need to grow up. Ploy can't live without her parents. The boy can't live without his mum. God help us. The boy, when you grow up, your boy can live without the mum. You don't have to have your mum. Where does life start? Do you need your mum to support you for the whole of your life? When do you grow a pair of balls and actually do things for yourself? Ploy left school at 16 and started working 2 weeks after she left school and never ever looked back. And she built her own house by working in a shirt factory. She actually worked bloody damned hard to get everything she's got. But him at 18 expects everybody else to pay for him. He's a dickhead. Excuse the language. Scumbag is another one. Les, I had a camper van and stayed in Birchen Garden and Salzburg. I'm a war history geek and spent the best 6 months there. I like caravanning when I had a caravan. Absolutely loved it. So again, look, I'm looking at if I sell the house for 3 million, I've got 1.5 million, which is about 25,000 to buy a camper van with. And I think you get a fairly decent camper van for 25 grand. And then 25 grand for maybe a condo in Thailand somewhere. So I could split my time, 6 months of traveling about. It's just another option. Life is full of options now. And again, these are the things that I want to do. So if I don't do it now, I probably never, ever will. And again, will I want to do that? Traveling all around all that drive when I'm 70? Maybe it's not. So if I don't do it now, that window will pass. I love me skiing. Would I go skiing again now? Probably not, in case you've broken bones and stuff like that. But there's many, many things that I can do now. So I'm never bored. I'm never stuck for anything to do. I've always got an option, always got a plan. Les, there are many camper van sites along the Thai coast. No, there isn't. It's growing gradually, the camper van people in Thailand. But it's bloody hot. You know, it'd be like boiling a bag living in a motorhome here. Hotels, you can get hotels from 500 to 1,000 baht. I thought about buying a motorhome here. I thought of, even last week or so, thinking about buying a van and converting it over here and just traveling around Thailand. But it's not worth it. It's like 20,000 pounds, £1 million baht to get a semi-decent van that I couldn't stand up in, with air conditioning and all of that lot. But there's no point where you can plug in. They're not geared up like the Europeans are for camper vans or caravans. So I can travel around everywhere in the car and stop in a nice hotel for the, comfort. So Thailand, as beautiful as it is, isn't built for camper vans. It's a novelty over here more than anything else, but it is growing. Car, condo, Korea, retirement pot. Hi Les, it's a shame that burden to life is spoiling things. You've given that a decent guy, and you'll be okay. So now Les, can you play bowls, golf, fishing, swimming, camping? Chin up, Les. Yeah, I can. I was never good at golf, never liked golf. Fishing, I don't like to see fish struggle. I don't eat fish. So I certainly wouldn't want to put a hook in the mouth and pull them. Bowls, I used to play boules in France when I lived in France, and I enjoyed that. Camping, I like camping. I like swimming and snorkeling and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a few of them little things I can still do. The swimming, the snorkeling, some beautiful crystal clear seas here. So yeah, boules, there's a couple of French people that I know could go and play boules with them if I wanted to. It's just doing whatever I need to do, and things will get better as the time goes on. If off things to do, best wishes, Les. Nice to see you positive. Always positive, mate. Always positive. I tell it how it is. I have good days and I have bad days, like everybody else. Everybody else has good days and bad days. But it certainly hit a discussion point here with getting divorced. And again, with people, put your experiences down below if you feel the same way, that family is an issue and you're sticking in there on the hope that everything goes well. And I'm sure there's hundreds of people. I know there's a few people that I've talked to who are in the same situation, family, and they're not happy with it, but they're put up with it, if you like, because they don't want to split up with a partner. And sometimes it's more more scary to give up than to actually walk away, because you don't know what's going to happen. But at least with Thailand, you can walk from one relationship into another. I'm sure that there's women around within, a couple of kilometers away from where I am. I just love to park the slippers in my veranda and like live happily families and go from there. But again, I'm not ready for that, and it's going to be a while before that happens. Too much woke nonsense in Australia. Yeah, woke is everywhere. Do you know the Canadian PM? You share your name, Lester B. Pearson. Well, it's Leslie R. Pearson, my name. Pearson is quite a popular name, but I've no relationship. Never been to Canada. Wanted to go to Canada skiing, but then it was going to be £500 for a week ski pass in Canada. So we ended up going to Livigno in Italy, £500 for all inclusive, much cheaper than just paying for the ski pass for Canada. You could always try Laos or Vietnam for a change. I mean, I like Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam a couple of times, and I love Vietnam. I certainly love Sapa. I could live in Sapa for a while because it's just stunningly beautiful, mountainside. Yeah, again, I intend just to go and sit and relax. I like drinking coffee and watching the world go by. I don't have to do any like mountaineering or, desert trails or stuff like that, or riding all over the place. I'm just happy with a nice view, with a cup of coffee, and just go. That's my enjoyment, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I will do, and I'll take everybody along with me as well. It's not for everybody, but for some people it might be. How did you retire so early? Canadians only retire at 65 or later. I was a firefighter in the UK, and I was 19 when I joined the fire service. And after 30 years service, you could retire, because the average life expectancy of a firefighter once he retired was only 10 years. So, but with health and safety and unions and stuff like that, life expectancy has grown and it's got better. So now it is, I think, 55 to 60 before you can retire. So I was lucky being able to retire at the age of 50 with a pension at the age of 50, and I've never ever looked back, and I've loved every minute of it. Paid into the pension, we used to have to pay 11% of our pension, so it isn't for free, like most people seem to think it's for free, but nothing's for free in life. But I've had 16 good years. I've retired 16 years in June, and I've loved every single minute of it. I'm much sooner live the retired life than the working life. If I've done any work for other people, it's because I want to do it, because I enjoy doing it, not because I have to do it. You just live within your means and you can have a happy life. And in Thailand, that is still a cheap way of living. Again, if you want to impress other people, Thailand isn't the place. You don't impress anybody driving around or living in a big flash house or flash car. Just live within your means. They're not going to judge you for it. I would say most foreigners who get involved with Thai women really have no idea what they are getting into regard of the family and their responsibility. I would agree with that. There are many people who say, if you marry a Thai girl, you marry the family as well. And that's correct. But before you marry the Thai girl, you talk about your responsibilities before you get married, because then it's expected. I know guys who've gone up to the village to go and see the parents and have ended up spending the money basically for the whole village to come round and have a party, but you pay because you're going to visit her parents, and it's a face thing. Of course you're going to pay, and you're not going to whinge and moan about it, because then you just, make them look silly and stupid, so they don't want that. So you will end up paying. But if you cross that bridge before you get married, or when you started a relationship, like with me, with Ploy, it was just like, there's no way her son was going to live here, or a family were going to live here. I support her, and she does whatever she wants to do with the money to support her family. But don't be coming and asking me for money, because it's just for me to support you, and that's it. So we put them boundaries in right at the very beginning. And that's what I would suggest anybody to do. Just don't go into a relationship blindside and think, oh, she's lovely, I want to be with her. And don't think it comes at a cost, because it does come at a cost. But you've got to also put your foot down if them boundary lines are crossed, as I did with a red line with him on drugs. I just wasn't going to pay. How's your emphysema now? It's okay. I had a couple of coffee days because the pollution, it was very hazy over here for the past 2 or 3 days. So it made me cough a little bit, but nothing too much to worry about. Do you need a lodger? No, sorry. No lodgers. I like my own freedom. I like power of the remote control. You don't have too much money. I have enough to live on. And that's all you need, enough to live on. Family was a ball ache for me too. An alcoholic brother, hospital dependent, in-laws, but we managed to stick together. It's the layabouts that are always tapping for money in the beer. It boils my, There are some people who just take all the time. And I remember, here's a story. When I got divorced in the UK, and I ended up going through bankruptcy. So that was my worst ever that I've ever been. And I was in that deepest, darkest hole, absolutely cheesed off. My ex-wife was living in the house that I, majority of it, paid for. She got to do whatever she wanted to do because I was paying all the bills, so she didn't have to work. And there's me living in a flat, and it wasn't in a very nice area. And then, because I was a firefighter, I was like an OIC. So we went out. As officer in charge of a new station, and we went out fitting free smoke alarms and drugs cabinets. And I was in a different part of the fire brigade area that I worked for, and we were going around to fit a drugs cabinet and smoke detectors in this person's house. Never been to this council estate before, but it was like sort of an estate where the council houses or social houses looked like all the other houses, so it didn't stick out. And there were semi-detached houses, and we pulled up, and I'm thinking, wow, I said, oh, this is okay. Then I looked at the paperwork we were going to go and see, and we knocked on the door, and this chav turned up and opened it. No, then mate, coming in. Tracksuit bottoms, tucked in his socks with his Adidas shoes on, no shirt on. So we were there to fit a smoke detector and a drugs cabinet, because he was on methadone, and so was his girlfriend, who had a 6-month-old baby. And I'm saying to him, because I'm now living in a shitty little bitty flat, you know, my world had just collapsed because I'd gone through bankruptcy. And I said, how did you get this place then? I said, what? I said, you've got everything, the flat screen TV, the leather sofa, you're living in a nice area. How did you get this? Oh, he said, the government. He said, this isn't an effort to stop me from offending. They give me a nice house, bought everything that's in the house to try and stop me from, because I'm a prolific offender. He said, I used to go around stealing, he said, and do drugs. He said, so they give me methadone now. So he said, that stops me from taking drugs. And the girlfriend's on methadone. So he said, we both don't take drugs anymore. And he said, and I'm sat there and I'm like pulling my hair out. And that's the lazy good for nothings who will never, ever contribute to society, but are taking everything they can get from society. And there's me, a hard-working guy, working in the fire service, putting my life on the line, and I've been shit on from a great height. So, yeah, again, being good, you don't get rewarded for being good. You get rewarded for being bad. I learned a lesson quickly, and don't flash your wallet when the in-laws are about. Yeah, but it's expected. You're expected to pay. So if I do get with a new girlfriend and she does say, oh, I want you to come and see mum and dad, I'll say, no, you go and see mum and dad if you want, but I'm going to stay here. I'm not into seeing mum and dad and living in the village life, because I know what's going to happen. You know, I've learned the lesson. This is a hard lesson to learn, and hopefully the people that are watching and listening will think the same, because look at the family. Who's going to, if she's the only girl in the family, she's going to be responsible for looking after everybody when the parents get older. And if you don't help pay, she'll go. And they're not stupid, these Thai girls. With everything, the allowances that we give her, they'll be salting some of that away for a rainy day. The Thai girls are very clever. I'm currently on Cybercow, considering living in Hua Hin in a nice little house like yours. How does Rayong compare to Hua Hin? I'm 51 and single. Rayong is nice, it's beautiful. Hua Hin, there's a lot more going on in Hua Hin, but the traffic is horrendous. I don't like Hua Hin just because of the traffic. To park near the beach, it's difficult to park near the beach. The traffic is horrendous. The pollution isn't good. Rayong, where I live, it's beautiful, but you need the girl here, or the wife, because as a guy, especially where I live, there isn't a bar nearby. I don't drink and drive, so therefore, if I go out with my friends, I'll stay in a hotel near the bar, and that's okay for me. I'm okay with that. But Hua Hin, there's plenty of entertainment, plenty of expats there. So if you need company, Hua Hin is good, but if you've got the wife or the girlfriend, Rayong is better. But the suggestion is, go and live in both places. If you live in both places, then you get the feel for the place yourself. Go to Turtle Beach for the little holiday. You might like to get away from all. I only know this place from American guy, Steve Ross, who is very interesting, shop and retired there. Interesting chap. Turtle Beach. Where's Turtle Beach then? I've heard of it, but I can't think of where it is. But again, I live across the island from Koh Samet. Koh Samet is a stunningly beautiful place. I'm 30 minutes away from Koh Samet. Koh Kud, I would probably say that's my best island. That I could live there. It's beautiful, Koh Kud. Are you from the UK? Right, Australia. No, from the UK. I left the UK 16 years ago, and I'm going back in May to go and see my sister and family and friends, and then we'll go from there. Jackson, Thailand. Hi Les, late to the party. You're looking more at peace with the situation, mate. No problems. Thanks very much, Jackson. I feel okay. Day 5, mate. Day 5. And I'm off to a party tomorrow to do a little bit of what we were talking about the other day. And I've read more into it, and it is like, woo, it's going to be testing my boundaries, that's for sure. But I'll have a smile on my face, and we'll see where we go from there. Cha Am Beach is awesome. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, Cha Am is sort of a cheaper version than Hua Hin, and I prefer Cha Am for the quietness, but Hua Hin for the nightlife. There's entertainment zones in Hua Hin as well. There is some really good markets with entertainment on as well. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I forget what the name of the market is, but if I was to go live there, I'd live near the market, because some fantastic food and the people. It's sort of out of the centre of Hua Hin. I can't think of the name. But it was beautiful. I'd go and live there. Les, wouldn't it be better to get divorced sooner than later, just to make sure the ploy isn't going to be coached in making things difficult for you in the future? She can't make things difficult for me in the future, because she's already done it. How can she argue against, I've signed the car over to my husband, or the bike's over to my husband, and the house she can't do nothing with because it's on a rent to buy. So there's nothing really she can do. And at the minute, as we're still married, if I pass, or if I have an accident or die, she gets the insurance, she gets the pension for life. So it's in her interest to stay married as long as I can. And also it's in my interest, because I'm coming back, I'm going to England in May, and I can apply for the retirement visa after May when I come back. So the swings and roundabouts, I don't think she's going to go down that route. Her parents are not like that. Ploy's open and honest, but then again, they can change, I know. Don't forget yourself to get a lemon top down at Redcar Beach. No, I won't. £2 for a lemon top, I think it is now, isn't it? Something like that. But I'll be in Wetherspoons every week having me breakfast and me refill coffees for £1.79. That's the best value pub in Redcar, is the Wetherspoons. Blah, blah, blah. What is the attraction to the Thai or Chinese women? Can you not find a British Australian woman? I don't understand men coming to Thailand looking for a Thai girlfriend who are generally plotting. And the women from Australia or the UK are not genuinely plotting. You get more bang for your buck over here, and you need a lot less money over here to get what you want that you could never get in. Okay, I'll use me as an example. I just have my pension. Do you think I'm high on the list in the UK for likability because I've got nothing? I don't have a house, don't have a car. All I have is me pension, and I'm a nice guy. Is that going to get me interested in some like even 50-year-old woman? I'm 65. So let's look at a 50-year-old woman. She won't even look twice at me. But the fact that I have the pension, I'm secure over here in Thailand, I've got a lot of things going for me because I'm secure. I've got a pension. I'm going to pay every day. And the lifestyles over here is very different to the UK or Australia. So that's why many guys come to Thailand, because financially wise, it's cheaper to have the same thing and a better thing over here than you will do in England and the UK. I've had a couple of trolls on the videos that I've given with regard to she left me and break up and all that lot. And believe it or not, it's from a couple of women, a couple of English women who troll me like, you know, you're one of these sick guys who marry a young Thai girl. You know, she's obviously one of them people who was a little bit cheesed off that guys, you know, come to Thailand. I'm one of them, and I love Thailand, and I love the women, and you do get better value for the women over here. Yeah, there's a few more tripwires over here and hoops to jump through, but it's not impossible. I had 9.5 years. It's the second longest marriage I've ever had. So I don't think 9.5 years is bad, really, is it? I mean, what's the average life marriage in Thailand, in England or Australia? I don't think it's 9.5 years. We have a hotel in Charlton Beach. Oh, very nice. I hope you do okay. Charlton Beach is you know, yes, I like it. Which beach in Rang is the best to visit? I'm in Jomtien. Swanson Beach is probably the nicest beach. Melonpun Beach, if you want the entertainment, there's a few bars along there and adult entertainment. But the beach near us, Swanson, is nice. And then Lee Mae Pim, which is the nicest beaches, but there's very little going on there. Lee Mae Pim is a very, very quiet area, but beautiful. Any news on visa on arrival being reduced to 60 days from 30 days? Not as yet. They're still talking about it. So we'll just see what happens going there. I admire your honesty, Liz. Thanks very much. I'm an open book. I'm honest as the day's long, and I'll tell you the rough with the smooth. And sadly, this time is a little bit of a rough, but there's more interest in the rough than there is in the smooth. Like I've said, over 40,000 views on 2 videos that are not, you know, I didn't really want to do. But it sparked such an interest, is why I did the talk today, that anybody has a chance to ask any questions that they want, and I'll answer it honestly. And then I'll put that back on. Yeah, your chance to ask any questions what you want. And again, I hope I've answered a lot of questions here. I've just been rambling on for 2 hours, 34 minutes. So it's a long one, this one. But again, you know, I hope people learn something from this. I hope some people take away from this. I'm getting out of my weepy moments and heartbroken moments with the support of everybody that's been on the channel. And again, thank everybody for their help and support. And it's refreshing to know that 95% of the people that's given me the messages would have done the same thing as I did. So I now know that I didn't do the wrong thing. How many Western wives have you had? okay, I've had 3 Western wives, but one of them was although she was Chinese, she was born in the UK, and they were all very disappointing. Mike's Coffee at the High Street is the best brekkie. It's above Elaine's shop. Oh well, I'll give that a try. But the breakfast in Wetherspoons, I always thought was good value. I'm going down to Cheap Charlie's tomorrow in Soybecow for a really, really good value breakfast. I think it's about 200 baht for a big breakfast. So I shall be there tomorrow. I'll be doing videos. I'm in Pattaya for 3 or 4 days. I'm meeting a number of people in Pattaya. And it isn't a knee-jerk reaction. We'd already planned to go to Pattaya with a couple of friends. It's his girlfriend's birthday, and that's where she wanted to go because of the live music and the cocktails and the sailor bar. So that's why we were going there, and we've already booked and paid for the hotel, so that's why we're going. But again, I'll meet a few people in Pattaya, I'm sure, and we'll see where we go from there. But then I'm in Bangkok next month for Songkran, the 13th to the 15th. I'm looking forward to that. And then on May the 4th, I fly to England for 2 months. Well, 1 or 2 months. So, and I've got to fit things in between all of that lot. So I'm never going to be bored. The average marriage in Australia and UK is 11 years. So I was nearly to the average then. I wouldn't worry, Les, on my sixth Thai wife. Wow. Wow. Oh, well done. Well done. And may I ask why the others failed? Was it that to do with family or just bad choices? Sounds like you're moving along nicely there, Les. Respect. Thank you very much. Again, it is hard. It was hard moving the stuff that belonged to Ploy out of the house. Again, I've changed all of the pictures on the phone, on the computer, got rid of photographs, albums, things like that, deleted loads of photographs from Facebook and stuff like that, because that's just the way to go. You know, that was a part of history. We had our moments, but now it's time for new moments and time to move on. Again, I'm not one of those who will mope and groan about it. It is what it is. Life goes on, and I've got more years behind us than they have left in front of us. So why carry that with you? Yesterday is been and gone. Today I can change, and tomorrow I can do whatever I want, if I get tomorrow, that is. But we all do not know that tomorrow is guaranteed. All of them due to family. Well, there you go. Best wishes on number 6 then. Go to China and visit, 30-day visa free. All the media scare of China. Bad is lies. I've been to China. And I love China. But I was with a Thai girlfriend and she was sick. So I went in Beijing. So I went to the pharmacy to go and get some medication for her. And it was like 7 or 8 o'clock on the night. Wow, I was so accosted by so many prostitutes in Beijing. It was like linking your arms. Oh, come with me, come to the bar. No. And guys, do you want to see a peep show? Do you want to do this? It was just like running the gauntlet in Beijing Main Street, which was stunningly beautiful when it's lit up one night. But it's a single guy. Boy, do you get hassled by all the prostitutes and the ladies of the night and the guys trying to, and it's just like, oh wow, it's just horrible. Shanghai, I got ripped off. The tea party, I paid about 120 quid for 6 cups of tea. You know, but another lesson learned. So anyway, that's the way it goes. So China, I like China. I like the Chinese food, but I like India as well. I went to Goa. Goa was a fantastic. I love Indian food, and Goa, lovely. Again, that's just over the pond, isn't it? I could go to Goa for a bit of a holiday. I can go anywhere I want now because I can do what I want to do. I've been with my Thai wife and only wife for 30 years. We have never been in a bar in Thailand. My wife studied law. If you shop in Poundland, you're going to get crap. I agree with, yeah, good for you. 30 years, take my hat off to you, sir. Well done. You know, you don't have to marry every woman you meet, Les. Yeah. There are plenty of girlfriends that I had that I didn't marry. I've had more than 4 girlfriends in my life. I've had 3 girlfriends over here in Thailand, only one of which I married. Don't discount marrying again. It does have its advantage. Yeah, I strongly agree with that. I'm never going to say never, because if she ticks all of them boxes and play at a high rate, not perfect, but if somebody comes along and ticks more than them boxes, then I'll consider getting married again, because then she'll get me pension. But whether I go into long distance relationships again, I don't know. We'll see what happens. When will you get back to dating? It's going to be a while. I'm going to do a bit of window shopping tomorrow. I'm going to start my window shopping tomorrow, because Tuesday is a Buddha day, so there's no alcohol. So I might go around and have a couple of massages here and there. 200 baht to fill an hour in is cheap, isn't it? And then there's plenty of massage places, plenty of eye candy to look around, swimming pools to go in. I'm going to go meet a couple of subscribers. So I've got a few plans. But dating wise, nah. Casual one night stands and stuff like that. I'm not into jumping straight out the frying pan into the fire. It will be what it will be, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Good luck, everyone. We need it. It's a minefield out there. Yeah, it is a minefield out there. And I've tread on a few landmines, but I survived. But again, now it's a lesson learned. And it's a big, big lesson learned that I've learned. And I'm not ashamed to admit it, is that this particular incident has opened my eyes for, like, you know, if she's the only girl of the family and her mum and dad are ill and they're not well-to-do or well-off, you're going to pay. And I'm sorry, I ain't going to go down that route. If her family are that way inclined, then it isn't going to be coming from me. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, it'll be interesting for you to watch and leave your comments and do that. Now, again, I would say, again, I've got a lot of people on YouTube, and I've got a lot of followers and a lot of nice people on here. And some people ask me where to find a good girlfriend, a nice girlfriend. So I used to give them the advice. I said, go to groups, meet other people, and if they're married and they're in a social group, and I'm sure this will happen to me as well. Excuse me, but this is what I'm thinking will happen, and it'll go, is that I've got lots of friends or acquaintances that I know that are married or have girlfriends, and they'll see the position that I'm in, and majority of Thai women know other Thai women that are single or want a boyfriend, or their husband has just passed or something like that. And let's face it, they're not going to introduce a friend of theirs who's going to be ripping somebody off. So these are the type of people that will come forward and say, Les, my wife's friend is looking for a partner. She's a really nice girl. I wouldn't recommend her if she wasn't. No, none of the people are going to recommend bad people, because it reflects in it. It's a face thing for them as well. So I think this will happen over a number of months type of thing, when the dust settles and it's just like, oh, Les is on the market. I know a good girl, because their friends want to introduce them to a nice man as well. You know, if I was a alcoholic, if I was a drunk, smoke, beat women up, then nobody's going to recommend the ladies to me, either. So this is another avenue that I'm looking at as well. So the Thai friendly and the internet dating, I ain't going to do that. I've got a couple of ebooks with regard to dating on the internet. That is just a minefield. And the girl that I met off the internet a number of years ago, 12 years ago, she was getting 150 emails a week from the guys who were telling her what they'd like to do to her. And this was 12 years ago. So technology's come on even further now. So, you know, those guys who think, oh, I'm the only one she's talking to, just forget about it. You are not the only guy she's talking to. You might be next in line, but they're also looking for a better life and a better prospect as well. So who knows what's going to happen? I'm there with an open mind. We'll see what happens. Sorry to hear your troubles. Keep your chin up, mate. Try North Vietnam for a few weeks. Quang Nai cheap hotel, £13 a night, 30 minutes from Ha Long Bay. Ha Long Bay, I loved Ha Long Bay. And Sapa, I could live up in Sapa. I'd love to live there for a month because it's stunningly beautiful. Just the views, I could sit, there's a couple of places I'll just sit with a coffee and just look at that view and thinking, fucking hell, sorry for swearing. What a beautiful place this is. It's one of the wonders of the world, Sapa. And on my round the world trip, I've got to say, Sapa is the best thing, in my opinion, is the best thing that I've seen in the world. Most jaw-droppingly, stunningly beautiful place. And it was wonderful. And I'd love to go back and live there for a month. Again, that's on my bucket list. I'll do that. Yeah. So yeah, Vietnam is certainly on the list. Top tip, get friendly with the ladies that have good, respectable jobs. Not the bar girls. They're being brainwashed by mama sons and family. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, again, the girl that worked, she was the language school teacher. But then with a girl who works all of the time, then you're limited to going on holidays and things like that because they're tied up with work. So if you want to get into a long distance or a long time relationship, these are the pitfalls that you've got to look at as well. I know a multimillionaire who used to date the top of the top because he went to the nice hotels, the conferences and stuff like that. And he still dates bar girls. He says, because a bar girl can pack a suitcase up. She's much more fun. And he said, I've got the money to support any girl for the rest of her life, but they will not leave their job because of me. Because I might be here this week, but next week I might find myself alone and with somebody else. So they will not give up a really good job for you because you're here today, but next week you might not be. So again, there's all sorts of options, isn't there? It's trying to find the happy medium of it all. But I get your drift, and thanks very much for that suggestion. My wife said the same thing about a cousin. What was that? Find a nice farang, a nice husband, because I want you to have a nice relationship. Yeah, again, this is what happens. And I've been to parties where we've had friends and we've introduced them to other ladies. Never worked because they weren't living here full time. They were only here on holiday with the thought of, I'm going to live here full time. And the girls are not looking for part-time relationships. You're better off living here full time. Then they know you're a genuine guy and you're going to be here all the time. It doesn't matter what their job is. Family comes first. Yeah, well, I'd go with that as well. Respect, Les, you've got the life I want. Well, I hope you get to do this life that I'm living. It's possible. It really isn't impossible to do. Do you rent or own your own house? Are you comfortable sharing what you pay or paid? Of course I am. I've done several videos about it. I'm buying this house on a rent-to-buy basis. It's 3 million baht, and I'm paying for it over a monthly period. And one day I'll end up paying the last payment, and then it becomes mine. Well, okay, saying mine, tongue-in-cheek, because then I've got a friend. It was going to become me employee's house, and it would have been employee's name. But that's a number of years ago. Because it's a rent-to-buy scheme, employee isn't, she's got no hold on the house, and I carry on paying the payments. And as long as I carry on paying the payments, once I pay the last payment, it's up to me what I do with the house, whether I want to sell it or whether I want to transfer it over to another Thai person's name. The thinking is that I could sign it over to a friend of mine's wife and then get a 30-year lease for it. And then I'm entitled to live in here for 30 years without any fear or any worry. and if I want to sell the lease, I can sell the lease. Plan B is to pay for it, 3 million on the last payment, sell it to somebody who wants to buy it, and spend the money and rent somewhere and just travel around and spend the 3 million baht on me. So I've got many options. I could even sell it now if I wanted to sell this for, say, 3.5 million. They'd come along and buy it for 3.5 million, pay the landlady the money, then 3.5 million, anything left, it comes to me, which there is, because obviously I've paid a chunk of this over the 4 years. So yeah, there's many options. I hope that explains. 3 million is the house, and we pay 20,000 baht a month. Hi Les, sorry to hear about your marriage breakdown. You're in a beautiful country, so things can only get better. I agree 100%. By the way, I arrived in Pattaya on Friday before the unpleasantness in the Middle East. I came by Dubai. Now I hear that the flights are, yeah, there's a few flights that are cancelled. I'm going back in May, so hopefully by May it should be sorted out. So who will pay for the brat? Ploy. Ploy's going to pay, because Ploy's got some savings. She's not a poor girl at all. She's probably wealthier than me, so she's got the means to do it. She's got savings, so she's going to end up paying for it. And that was my argument all the way along. She feels the pain now of having to pay for her son. She feels what she has to do now for her son. Whereas if it was me, with the allowance that I give her, she still lays on the hammock watching the TikToks. She doesn't feel the pain of, paying for him to go do his treatment. Whereas because I'm giving her an allowance, it comes out of her allowance. But ultimately, it comes from my allowance that I give her. And I couldn't stand seeing that money being wasted to a total waste of space. So that's why the red line was crossed and why I stopped it. And I said, I admire you for you taking your son and doing the treatment, but you pay for it. You go and get a job and you do it. So consequently, that's why we're here today. So yeah, the brat is happily taken his mother's money. She's paying for his motorbike, paying for his treatment, and he's got his mother back. So he's happy all the way around, because other people's paying for his mistakes. Anyway, where are we at now? 2 hours and 52 minutes. 177 people in. I don't know how many thumbs up we've got, but if anybody gets value from this, give it a thumbs up. It all helps the algorithm. Thanks very much. Again, over 40,000 views on the videos that I've done. So that absolutely shows that it's a massive, massive subject, is this. And I'll have to do a little bit of research and we'll go into this. And again, I'm open and honest, and I can tell you how it is over here. Some people will agree with me and some people will disagree with what I've done. But hey ho, that's life, isn't it? So again, living in Thailand has its advantages, but it's also got its disadvantages as well. Is it heaven on earth? No, it isn't, because there are pitfalls to live here. There are responsibilities, and there's the unknown. So it's best to go into a relationship with your eyes fully wide open. My eyes are fully wide open now, but I sort of wasn't looking for these type of things. And it's only now that I look and I'm thinking this might have happened in a few years' time, because my wife is going to have to be there to look after her parents. And I can't live up at the farm because it's too isolated for me. So the situation that I'm in now would have eventually happened. So anyway, if you're in Pattaya, I'm in Pattaya tomorrow. If you want to meet up, we're meeting up in the Sailor Bar, Soy 8, 2 o'clock. I'm meeting with a couple of other subscribers on Tuesday, which is a no drinking day because it's a Buddha day. So if you want to be there, I'll be there at 2 o'clock. You're more than welcome to join. Hi Les, I hope you're doing okay, mate. I'm doing okay, thanks very much. Yeah, again, nearly 3 hours we've been talking about this and people have asked many questions. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Day 5, mate, and I'll turn the corner. I'm always a positive guy anyway, so and I've had 3 other divorces, so this is no different. In fact, this is probably an easier divorce than the last 3. But it's something I didn't want to do, but it's happened, so you just move on with it. The some will get the treatment and very likely go back to the drugs. Exactly. Like, okay, if I can explain to those people about this group ABBA and what it does to you. You imagine the best thing that you've ever done in your life and the most euphoric experience that you've had, and you feel happy, and the fact that it's like, wow, this is fantastic. That might get a rating of 200 in the dopamine effect, because dopamine is the pleasure signal that your brain gives out, this chemical called dopamine. When you worship the band ABBA, this gives you the feeling within seconds of a rush of 1,000 dopamine releases, as opposed to 200 for the most euphoric thing you've ever done, dopamine wise. ABBA, the band ABBA, gives you that of 1,000. So you will never, ever, ever get that feeling again. So you're always looking for that feeling. And this ABBA, the band goes on for 8 to 10 hours and you don't sleep. You feel euphoric, you feel alive, you feel the best you've ever been, until it kicks in and you're addicted to it, and then it goes in the opposite direction. So yes, I would totally understand and agree with you. People who are going through the withdrawal symptoms of it, suicidal, depressive, paranoia, these are all the things that's going to stay with him for the rest of his life. And when he comes back out of it and back to normal, he'll have a depressed day and he'll think, I'll just do it the once. I'll just do it the once. I know it's going to make me feel better. And there we go, the cycle comes around again. 155 thumbs up. Oh, well, thanks very much, Jackson. Yeah, I think we had 250 in at one time, so never mind. The music is addictive. My favorite song is All Your Love on Me. ABBA, gambling, loans, big problems. Yeah. And I think that's why he came to our house, because he got into a bit of loan agreement. I think he was taking other people's loans to feed his habit, and he got into a situation where he owed the people the money. And over here, they aren't very pleasant at collecting it, so they will make him pay. So I think that has come into it as well, but I could be wrong. But she's never going to tell me, is she? Fly Thailand to Hong Kong, stay one night, and then fly to the UK for cheaper than flying direct to the UK to Thailand. Paid £592 return flights UK to Hong Kong, Thailand. Yeah, that's cheap. That's very good. I've got a flight to the UK with Oman Air for £262 one way to London, with an airport lounge for 2 hours before I fly. So that's not too bad, is it? £262, I think it is, on May the 4th. And that's stopping at halfway. I'm 69 this year, and I reckon I will get out there and check the area out. I stayed in Bangkok en route to see my sister-in-law's a few years ago. Good food, probably next year though. Yeah, go for it. Don't be one of the OMYs one more year. Get in touch. Go live your life. Bangkok is a fantastic place, and yeah, Thailand is a lovely place. Jackson, money. Yeah, the loser has to pay. The winner takes it all. The loser has to pay. So am I a loser or am I a winner? Because I don't know. I'm a bit in between. I'm sitting on the fence with that one. I think in later years it'll transpire that I'm a winner, because the winner takes it all. The fact that if I waited for another 1 or 2 years before other things happen, and we talked the other day, her parents are getting old, so she will undoubtedly have left me in a couple of years' time, because then she'll have had more time to put money away for a rainy day. So yeah, that's another thing that I'm looking at in the future as well. Rainy day money that I'm paying to other people, it's where it's going to. Bangkok bound. Loser, you think I'm a loser? Okay. Les, you are a winner. You lost nothing. Is it cheap to pay for a security guard in Thailand? Yeah, it is. But even a security guard can be bribed. I've got no fear of that. Absolutely no. I haven't done anything to him. He's won, hasn't he? He's got his mum back. She's paying for his motorbike. She's paying for his treatment. And no doubt when he comes and leaves, she'll be giving him support. He's got a house that he lives in for free anyway. So why does he have to work? Because the bank of mum is going to pay. And so he's won. So there's no need for him to be angry with me. If I kept his mum down here, then be more angry at me because he hasn't got his mum back. So I've got no worries and no fears about it. Live 7 hours away, so I ain't going to be getting a knock at the door, that's for sure. You made a tough but correct decision. Will you need a different type of visa once divorced? Yes, I need to go from the marriage visa to the retirement visa, which is no problem. I can do that. I still meet the requirements of doing that, and I go on the income method of 65,000 baht a month. That paperwork's yet to be signed and sealed, delivered. But me and Ply are sensible people, and we've discussed this, and we've sort of got a time frame that this is going to happen. So again, it's still not over, but many people have asked me, would I take her back? And the answer is no. She made this decision to go. I'll move on with that decision because at the end of the day, she'd move back home to her parents anyway. So the writing is on the wall, and she isn't going to change. So she's gone. Once divorced, just get the retirement visas. I've got 7 days following the divorce papers. But again, divorce, 2 people have to sign. So I'm going to England in May. Pardon me. I can't see it happening before then. And she also knows, because again, we had a sensible conversation. It was sort of an acrimonious divorce. We talked about things, and she's not angry with me, and I'm not angry with her. And whilst we're still married, if something happens to me, say if the plane got blown up on the way back to London, then she'd get my fire brigade pension and the insurance money and things like that. So she still benefits from it, and I'm happy with that. But one day that is going to stop, and she knows that also. So sensible in our talking, in our proceedings. So that's the way it's going to go. Is paying your wife, girlfriend allowance on unwritten rule for a foreigner in C. Why does it happen? Because if a girl works all the time, then she's not with you. But to compensate her to be with you 24 hours a day, you have to pay whatever she'd be earning in the factory or shop or wherever she's working, whatever she's doing. That's to compensate, because she still has responsibilities, probably to her family and children invariably. So you couldn't expect a Thai girl to live with you and you going to give her nothing. That just is not going to happen whatsoever. But if she's working, you've got some, because she's not with you all the time, so you can negotiate that. But in reality, you're paying for her so she doesn't have to work, for the flexibility of being able to do whatever you want to do. That's what I did with Ply. She was working in a shirt factory. Now she's not working in a shirt factory, so she's with me. So she still has responsibility at the time for her son, because he was going to school, and helping her mum and dad. So it's the same in England or America or Australia. If your wife doesn't work, she still needs to ask you for the money for buying her clothes and her daily needs. So it's just the same in Thailand as it is in any Western country. The guy pays at the end of the day. Can I pay a Thai guy to protect my property, and how much would it cost me daily? I've no idea. But again, like a Thai security guard, somebody comes along and pay the security guard to look the other way. And do you think he's not going to accept a bribe? So it worries me a little bit if the fact that you want to hire a security guard to look after your property. Your home looks nice. It is nice. It's a fantastic home. I love it here. Just wait until your visa renewal and convert to a retirement. Yeah, that's possible. That's in December. That's due in December. So it's still a fair distance away, and a lot of water can flow underneath the bridge between now and then. I think there's a rule if your partner I think there's a rule if your partner cheats and you prove it, then nothing to be paid to her. Well, she's not going to get paid nothing anyway because we've both agreed that. I don't know about that rule, but cheating has never come into it. I've never cheated with against her, and she's never cheated against me, so that doesn't even come into the fold. Not have kids with ploy. Why? Because I had the operation a number of years ago, and I made the decision a number of years ago that I didn't want any more kids. And why would I want the kids over here in the first place? I retired at 50. I was retired. I wasn't going to be another dad, you know, bringing up a Thai child over here because I didn't want any more children. Life is for living. I've had my days of children growing up. So that's the reason. And that is always the reason. I told Ploy from day one, I didn't want any kids. I didn't want anybody living in our house here, kids, things like that. And it was either you accept that or you don't. I laid out the rules from day one, and I suggest that everybody does that. Have a plan and a rule and stick to it. Don't go against it. I really don't get paying the salary for someone to get up late, lay on a hammock and play TikTok when your brick and mortar is nice house, and as I remember, you like cooking and eat healthily. Okay. Again, I've explained this many times. Here we go again. It was my choice. She could work and then she wouldn't be with me all the time. We can't pack a suitcase up and go on holiday because she's working. So I compensated her not working. So I had the opportunity to go on holidays, and we had many holidays. She was here looking after the house. You can't expect anybody to work or be around and do something for 24 hours a day. They have their life and I have my life. If she wants to sit and look at TikTok on a hammock, that's up to her. I look on the computer. I do all sorts of things on YouTube. So should I be working or should I be earning money? Because that's my hobby, that's my interest. Ploy has her hobby and interest as well. It's the fact that she's still got responsibilities and she still needs to earn some money to be able to pay for them responsibilities. And who pays? It's the guy. It's exactly the same in your home country. Your wife needs clothing, she needs shoes, she needs makeup. And if she's not working, who pays? You pay, of course. And that's just the same, but it's phrased differently over here. And people need to get their heads around that if you're a guy, no matter where you live in the world, you pay. Do you regret with investing your time in faith? No, don't, because without that, who knows? If her son had turned out to be a really nice guy, then we wouldn't be sat here talking about it until another couple of years, until her mum and dad became ill. So again, who knows what's around the corner? It's one of them things. It happened. I go with the flow. I don't regret. We had 9.5 good years, 9.5 happy years together. We did many things together, none of which I regret. You laid out the rules. What a strange statement. But it is. It's the same with anybody. If what about the people who have the prenuptials? Is that not a rule? You know, the state of play. If the girl wants a family and you don't want a family, it's no good saying, oh yeah, okay, we'll talk about that later. You tell them from day one, I don't want any children. I don't want any kids. I don't want your mum and dad to move in the house with us. I don't want your son, your daughter to... They know the rules. And if you can't understand that in Thailand, then you're going to have a very difficult time here in Thailand. Lay the ground rules out from day one and you'll have a better life here. And it's the same ground rules anywhere else in the world. There are rules that we all follow. There are things that we'll tolerate and there's things that we won't tolerate. Again, what if you met a woman who was an alcoholic, but she didn't tell you? So you get her to move in, then she's having a bottle or 2 bottles of wine every day. Is that a rule, or would you just turn around and say, I'm not going to tolerate your drink because you never told me that you're an alcoholic? And like a guy, I know plenty of alcoholic guys here that have Thai girlfriends, and the Thai girlfriends hate it, but they stay just because of the money. And that's the sad, but money is number one, same as family is number one. You come number 6 or 7, past the dog sometimes. A prenup would be agreement. The same as setting your rules. That's an agreement, isn't it? The agreement is, I don't want your kids to move in with us. I don't want your grandparents to move. Isn't that the same? It's an arrangement or an agreement. It's exactly the same. Yes, noose now is for future. You have guts to stick with the situation. I appreciate you, sir. Thanks very much. We all, again, we live in a world that, you know, you may agree with some things and disagree with other things, same as me. You know, we all live our lives by our own volition, if you like. And it's up to us. What might suit somebody doesn't suit somebody else. So just be happy, do whatever that floats your boat and be happy with that and live with the consequences if it goes wrong. But your life is in your hands, as my life is in my hands. I make the decisions now as to what I want to do, whether they're good or whether they're bad. It's up to me. And it's the same as up to you. If you want to go that route, you go that route. If you just want to say, okay, come and live with me with no restrictions, no get out clauses, none of this, especially when you're in the later years, then you're just opening yourselves up for a load of worry, a load of hassle. Prenup way to go for me, if bringing 95% of the assets to the marriage. I agree with that. You know, there are so many programs that I've watched with guys and women, and, you know, the guys mainly have all the wealth. And the girls might have the looks, and then you say to the girls, well, what are you bringing to the table? And the girls invariably say, me. And that's all that you're coming for, the beauty, the youth and the beauty, which will fade one day, but your wealth will fade also if they divorce you without a prenup. Did Ploy set any rules for you? I don't think so, no. I can't think of anything. Oh, well, apart from don't lie to her, don't be unfaithful to her, don't hit her, treat her nice. I wouldn't regard them as rules. That's just being a nice guy. But again, these are the things that she said. And the biggest thing was lying or cheating to her or not having an affair with somebody. She said, if you need to see somebody else, having an affair with somebody else, please have the decency to finish me first before you do that, because her first boyfriend or her son's dad cheated on her several times, and she caught him in bed with another woman, and that's something she detested. So she asked me, please do not do that to me, and I never ever did and never ever would. Never have done, never will do. But yeah, she had some pre-existing conditions as well. So would you class them as rules, or would you class that as just, well, common sense? I don't know. There are still many guys that are married with Thai girls and still fool around, and they think it's okay. I mean, many Thai guys have a gik, which is a second woman. They might have the wife, but it's sort of understood that they'll have a gik where they can just go play around with, and that's accepted. It's accepted that a lot of guys can drink, have a gik, smoke, gamble, do anything they want, and the lady doesn't say anything about it. Westerners have higher standards, I think, than some of the Thai men. She may come back to you after she realised she had made a mistake. No, that boat has sailed. That is never going to happen. And I can say never for 100% for sure, because it isn't going to happen. I agree with you 100%. Thanks very much. Okay, well, 3 hours and 30 minutes, and it's getting dark now. 100%, Les, I wish you luck and onwards and upwards, mate. Thanks very much for that. We're gone 10 past 6 now. I only thought I'd do it till 5 o'clock, but we've gone on for another hour. So thanks very much, everybody that's participated and asked the questions, and I hope it sorted a few problems out. For those people who've watched it on not recorded, but relisted or whatever it was. Thanks very much for watching. Always up for a chat or a coffee, and for those people who are going to party, I'm there on the 3rd and the 4th, and maybe it's the 5th as well. So get in touch, send me an email, thanks very much for everybody, and much appreciated. And before I go, give it a thumbs up if you got some value and content out of it. I hope you did. So bye for now. Enjoy, and thanks very much for joining. Bye for now.